demons. Planet, fuck you! 5 minutes of peace! It's our new record! What's that?
Fuck you! Let's fucking do this!
Alright gamers, geeks, and other delinquents from the outer realms, it's time for the Gamers in Beta podcast with Captain Mike M.
That is a travesty of the highest order if I've ever fucking seen one.
Featuring assorted co-hosts, J Maniac 17.
What the fuck was that all about?
Corey Atwood.
It's not my fault you guys all have shitty taste.
Sean Quicksilver 3355.
Well, maybe you should look it up.
And Joe State.
That game sucks, dude.
Pick up the world's milkiest fucking booger out of my nose.
Ugh, Jesus. I was like just about to take a drink of beer when you said that. Ugh.
Oh yeah, that's interesting news.
Milky. Oh,
a milky booger. That we're gonna start the show with booger stories. Well, I'm cutting that off at the pass.
Booger sugar.
Booger.
Yeah, Jay, I heard you got in a fight with an inanimate object recently.
I did. I had a rough day yesterday. I was rushing around the house. We were trying to get out the door. I was supposed to go to New Hampshire and pick up a new refrigerator. And I was down at the bottom of the stairs trying to get everything moved out of the way. And a shoe got caught under the door. So trying to dislodge the shoe, I tripped over the rug. And we have a storm door that's solid glass. It's not solid glass anymore. I went through it. And I was not drinking, Mike. I know you were hoping that was going to be the case, but no, that was not the case. So I ended up glancing off the door handle and going through the glass.
Oh, just your arm, right? It wasn't like any of the rest of you.
No, my arm went through it first, but then I followed through.
Your whole body,
yeah.
Jesus.
When I was outside, I had to lean over and pull my shirt up so I could get the glass out from behind my back. And because it was safety glass, it shattered instead of being pieces. So it was just everywhere. So, like a car, when you see a car window broken, side window, they just shatter. It's everywhere. It's like beads of glass everywhere. So here I am. My arm's all cut up. Just to cut to the end there quickly, I ended up with 3 stitches, but I've got 4 or 5 pretty good cuts on my arm. So here I am standing there bleeding, and I'm like, I need a vacuum. My wife's looking at me like, what the fuck? You're standing there with your arm bleeding, there's glass everywhere, and you're asking for the vacuum. I'm like, yeah, it's the only way to pick this stuff up. So I'm out in my front yard vacuuming the lawn to get all the glass out of it because I have my granddaughter, and she's got her friends that come over and visit. So I'm like, I can't do this. So I spent 2 hours vacuuming glass out of the lawn. And by the time I was done, I looked at my arm, and I had a giant hematoma on my elbow, which a hematoma is blood that clots up. So I was worried I had an issue. So I ended up having to go down to the doctors, and they went down there, and they stitched that up, and I had a good conversation with the doctor. He's like, well, so how did this happen? Were you angry? What happened? I'm like, well, I wasn't in the best of moods when it happened. I may have been rushing, and afterwards, yeah, I probably was. I was pretty angry. So,
who caught the brunt of the F-bombs? Whoever.
The neighborhood. The whole neighborhood.
Whoever left the shoe there.
Dude, I would love to have you as a neighbor. Be like, oh yeah, Crazy old man Jay is out there vacuuming the lawn, and he's bleeding. Look.
He's either on top of his roof, snow blowing his roof, or he's vacuuming his lawn. What's wrong with this guy?
This guy's dropping acid again. Look. Maniac 17's outside again.
Oh, shit.
A similar story with that many years ago at a rehearsal space, and the further you went up to the floors, the higher up floors, the more grungy the place was. But on the second floor was more of a established like lesson area where there was a piano and more rooms that were better kept up. But there was just a complete glass door there, and the piano was on the opposite side. And we were there late one night just jamming away, and one of the hanger-ons, I'm going to play that piano. You know, we're all filing out. Like, yeah, sure, go for it, Carl. And he goes flying down the stairs, and he's so drunk he doesn't realize there's a door there, and goes right through the fucking glass door to play the piano.
Jesus.
And I said, Carl.
Obviously the dude from Earth Crisis.
And I said to him, I go, Carl, you all right? And he just fucking flipped his shit on me. Do I look all right? Do I fucking look all right? I was like, all right.
That's kind of how I was after I went through it. I was pissed. That shoe did end up across the street.
You probably felt pretty good throwing that shoe too, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that you ended up outside, too. Like, you totally just fucking Jackie Chan'd your way out your front door.
Pretty much, yeah. Luckily, I wasn't balled up. But
I was trying to think of that 80s, like, sitcom where the guy was always notorious for, like, doing, like, you know, his own stunts and stuff like that. I keep thinking T.J. Hooker, but that's not it. It's one of the ones with the guy always wore, like, a cowboy hat and a leather jacket. I can't remember the name. I can see the guy's face as clear as day, too, but I will not remember that TV show, though.
This is not the TV episode. We will not remember this episode.
no.
So this is Captain Mike M, Gamers in Beta. Welcome to episode 202. As you can hear, we got Jay, Corey, and Joe with us tonight. And Sean is away, driving up to Vermont in just a little bit to deliver the garments. So
it's working.
Can't make it tonight. But we got a good show. We got some news to talk about right off the top. We got some E3 stuff and some other shit as well. Usually I throw shout-outs at the end of the show, but I feel like mixing it up tonight. So just randomly off the top of my head, want to shout out some listeners. Holy Headshot, Super Lobster, G Hammocks. Give a shout out to those guys. They're always chatting with us on Twitter. So just mixing things up a little and want to shout them out right at the beginning. Let's jump into some news. Nintendo. Corey.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Never heard of him.
Indie company.
Yes.
Indie company.
They have leaked some news this week about their online offerings or their non-online offerings, depending on how you want to look at it. First of all, the paid online will not kick in until next year. So essentially 2017 will be a trial of sorts.
It wasn't like a hard date in 2018 either, was it?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not. And the way I understood it is some of these features are going to be rolled out this year. And like I mentioned, it's going to be a trial.
Right.
So eventually when it kicks in, it'll be $3.99 a month, $7.99 for 3 months, or $19.99 for the full year. When we talked about some of this news before, they were talking about giving us one game, and you got to play it for a little bit, and if you wanted to keep it, you'd have to go ahead and buy it. Well, it looks like they have tossed that out the window.
Completely.
God, it was terrible.
Yeah,
This is like the exact opposite of that.
And it's going to maybe more, you could say, like a Netflix type thing. First of all, the online so far is being called Nintendo Switch Online. Not sure how long they thought about that.
Oh, that was a lot of thinking there.
And they're going to be offering you a library of classic games with added online play. The quote is, users can play as many of the games as they want, as often as they like, as long as they have an active subscription. The first titles announced for this online offering are Classic Game Selection. That's what I guess that's what they're going to call it. So the games are Super Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario. How do you feel about those, Corey?
Those are all three some all-star titles. I'm surprised they started with Super Mario Brothers 3, but generally that's considered the best among the Super Mario Brothers games on the NES widely. Not I disagree with it, but still a great game. I don't think it's the best Super Mario Brothers. 2 is clearly superior Super Mario Brothers game, but I think this is awesome. And what gets me the most excited about this is the fact that they say with online play, with added online play, even if that's just leaderboards. I love retro game old high scores. And if I could just compete with the people on my friends list for high scores, I mean, anybody else who's on my friends list who has, this subscription service, whatever they're going to end up calling it, Nintendo Online, is that what they're calling it, is going to have these games for free, like you said, like a Netflix type thing. So I'm very excited for it. I've done a complete 180 on thinking, oh, great, I'll be able to play Excitebike for a month, and then I won't be able to play it again.
Now, Joe, these 3 games that they're going to give us right off the bat, are they on that mini NES that came out? I even forget the name of that, what that's called now, the NES Classic.
The NES Classic?
Yeah.
Super Mario 3, Dr. Mario 1. What was the third one?
Balloon Fight.
Balloon. Yeah,
they're all on
Fight.
there.
Balloon Fight is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoa,
Okay.
Sorry, I dropped something.
That's right. So that's a bit of a, I guess, repetitive offering if you have the Classic. But if you don't,
But
now
not
online.
many people do.
right.
True.
Yeah, but they don't have online offerings, which they say they may add to some of these games. So
Exactly. And the other bit of news, they said the Super NES games are under consideration. Quickly, you Super NES fans, what would be one title that you would like to see them offer? Anything right off the top of your head you can think of, Corey?
Super Mario World, Star Fox, Mario Kart, obviously, the classic original.
What about you,
Yoshi's
Joe?
Island.
Yoshi's Island? Mm-hmm. Jay, were you involved with the Super NES hype at all or no?
about the only one I really played much on that was the Mario Kart. So
Maybe Final Fight.
yeah, and I'd have to look.
Yeah.
I've got some. I still have some cartridges laying around here, the ones I used to play, and I don't really
And for
remember them until I see them.
For anyone who's not played it too, Earthbound. Earthbound would be a good thing to put on there. I think everybody should play that at least once. That's like one of the classics.
Excellent. Now let's talk about some of the funny stuff here. Voice chat. So this is only going
boy.
to happen through a dedicated smart device app, which we knew about. It's going to allow you to connect to the Switch. It's going to only let you chat with friends online in supported games. But you can also invite friends to play and set what they call play appointments. That doesn't sound sketchy at all. I don't think Michael Jackson at all when I read that. A limited version.
Juice.
A limited
Now-
version of the app will be available this summer.
Now, I don't know about you guys, if you guys saw that screenshot or not yet, but I don't see anything smart about that setup.
So that's a completely different thing. So that's
Well, that's part of the chat, right?
It's not the app, but that's like a way that the headset supposedly connects to it.
Oh, the
so what
Splatoon
this
thing.
is. Let's
Yeah.
take a deep dive into this. Everybody's clicked on that NeoGAF link.
Oh, yes.
All right. So first things off to bust your bubble is you're only going to be able to use this type of chat undocked, right? Because think about it. You don't have anything else from Nintendo Switch that has inputs. Your Pro controller doesn't have an input.
Well, let's describe this for anyone who's not seen it. Odds are probably everyone here has seen it. There's a cord that comes out of the headset and goes into this weird little what looks like a
Y splitter.
It's a squid.
Yeah,
It's a
It looks like the squid.
It looks like a squid, but
That's what it is. That's
it's
totally
called
what
a
it
Y
is.
splitter.
But
and
that's what-
two cords come out the bottom because it's a Y
it's meant to
splitter.
look.
One-
It's meant to look like a squid. Let's make that very clear because it is
Right, and-
because it's for Splatoon.
and one goes out to the cell phone and the other one goes out to the Switch. Now, everyone is losing their mind because they're thinking, well, how the fuck can I play this docked? The cord looks like it's about 6 inches long. There's no way to do this. Nobody here can read Japanese, and it's all written in Japanese on top of that. I don't know if anyone has
It's
translated
definitely-
those yet.
It's definitely can only be play undocked, and that cord going into the Switch is supposed to be 20 inches.
Hey.
Ooh.
There's no way to play this. There's no way to use this headset docked.
Well, do we know if this is the way that it has to be set up the entire time, or is that Y splitter like I will connect it to my phone while docked, or I'll connect it to the switch while away? Because it's assumed that those, just from the way the image is, that it has to be connected to phone and switch at the same time. I propose maybe you're only supposed to use one or the other based on whether or not it's docked or undocked.
No, I think you got chat with one and your audio. Otherwise, you wouldn't have game audio because it comes. This is a headset, right? From Hori?
Hori. This is a $30 headset, by the way.
Right.
So that's how much it's going to cost you, $30. And this is the officially licensed Switch headset for Splatoon 2. So Nintendo just sort of said to Hori, "You guys go and figure it out." And this is a solution that they came up with. Now, Corey, you could be right. The other podcasts that I have been listening to this week made it feel like you had to connect all this all at once, and you could only use this undocked.
See, I think that's what the image infers at like a glance. That's what it looks like. But it doesn't seem logical. But then again, that, what does logic have to do with Nintendo lately? Unfortunately, I love the company, but God, it does some weird shit sometimes. So
they do.
But I would assume that they don't have to be attached at the same time. But
how would you use it that way though if you didn't? Because it's a headset it's got a boom mic on it, and it's got the ear cups that they look like they're like the small headsets. It's not like
one's only giving you voice and the other one's only is giving you the audio. Game audio. Right.
So, I mean, if you're using the headset, the only way it would work, you couldn't just use it for chat.
So, Corey, if you scroll down and look at the actual images, not the cartoonish one.
Yeah.
And you click on the one that shows you the squid in a much bigger way. You can see on, mic, off.
Yeah.
You see how there's 3 rings on one and there's 2 on the other? So the red one has 2 rings, and the black one has 3 rings.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's how you're getting your sound through the 3, and you're just getting voice through the 2.
Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't. Oh God, it doesn't seem to make sense. But you also said this is something that's made by what was the company? It's sanctioned by Nintendo. Ori, yeah. So this is just like a Splatoon. Could just be a Splatoon. Like sponsored type thing, you know what I mean? Like
it's definitely licensed for Splatoon. Yeah. That thing is supposed to look like a squid, and it's only $30, so it's not like you're spending hundreds of dollars on this contraption, and maybe something could be coming down the road for sure.
God, when I saw this, I immediately thought, like, if that is the case, then just fuck it. I'm just going to stick to Discord. Like, why would I do anything else?
Exactly. Just,
Well, for chat, yes. But, I mean, you still need the app for your party and stuff like that. And maybe if it's on your phone, you can bounce. Well, yeah, this is Nintendo. They're not going to go that far. I doubt it. But, I mean, like you can go between game chat and, well, there is no game chat, right?
You're going to be chatting. You're going to be chatting through your phone, right? Isn't that what that large image says?
Right.
Voice, and it's got the picture of like an iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so foreign to it. I mean, it's a completely different way of coming at it. And to be honest with you, it seems like a complete clusterfuck to me.
Is there a mic on the Switch?
I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
Right.
But
it was on the Wii U, right?
Yeah, there was on the Wii U.
So I'm wondering if the Switch does have one.
But yeah, if I'm playing at home though, I'm going to be using my fucking Pro Controller. It's going to be docked on the other side of the room. So
right.
Why would I use anything but Discord?
Right.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't make sense. I mean
that's why it's only $30, right? So
yeah. So I guess the peripheral is designed for when you're mobile, and I'm going to guess that the app that they're going to have for party chat and stuff, you'll have your phone sitting next to you, so it doesn't matter where the actual Switch body is, as long as you have the controller. If you're using your Pro or you're using your
there's not going to be a ton of times when you want to use that though, because let's say you're on the go, you'd have to have a Wi-Fi signal, because if you're on the go and you're playing on the bus or something, you're not going to be chatting with anybody because you're not going to be playing online. If you're playing in a LAN setup, people are going to be sitting right next to you. So again, you're not going to need the headset. So this would have to be if you're with a good solid Wi-Fi connection, but for some reason are not connecting to the TV. That's like one of the only times you'd actually use this, right?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, and on the go. I mean, because you have your phone, you'd have your like. For me, I have my phone clipped to me. You guys may carry it in your pocket or whatnot, but either way,
you couldn't.
Say you take public transportation. You're on the bus, so you can have your phone sitting on your lap, so somebody can steal it, and you'll have your switch in your hand with it connected, and you'll have your headset on,
Someone's
so
just
that
gonna
somebody can
bumble
mug
you.
you because you can't hear.
Yeah, but what are you playing?
Some guy's just going to come over to you like in high school and just put the shirt over your head and just stuff you in like a locker.
But
All right, this is getting dark.
But Jay, you won't be playing with anybody. You won't be playing online. You need a Wi-Fi.
That's right, because you have no wireless. Well, what if you're on a plane?
That's what I'm saying. Is it'll be the few instances when you're away from home but have a solid Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, that's right, because there's no cell connection. With
They're assuming people at home are going to be like, not in front of the TV. They're going to be assuming that they're somewhere else, or that they just like playing on the device.
Yeah,
maybe not after wearing this fucking funky ass headset though.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. That's their first attempt at things. I'm curious to see. Splatoon is what, almost a month away? A little over a month?
Yeah, July 20th, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
So I'm curious to see them just get the app out there and how that is all going to work. One last thing before we move on, Joe and Corey, I want to ask you, listening to other podcasts this week, they felt like Splatoon can get away without chat because it wasn't one of those games where necessarily you all needed to get together and strategize. Do you guys feel strongly with that or disagree with that?
I would agree.
Yeah, I would agree that, I never really chatted when I played online with other people because you don't need to. But for people that are going to, take that shit seriously and strategize, you would need to. So if you have a group of friends who also play it, it would be nice to be able to do it.
Well,
but
that's the only people you're going to be able to chat with anyways. Can't
It would
chat
definitely
with randoms.
improve the experience, I think, though, if you could chat. You guys just played it because you didn't have it, so you played it without it, and it is playable and usable in that way. But the chat experience, I think, definitely can improve your experience playing with your friends and stuff. So
that goes for any game.
Yeah.
Moving on, the PlayStation 3 has ceased production. Does anybody have any sort of memories? I know Jay didn't even own one. He's probably played on it.
That's my memory.
A handful of times. But Corey, did you own a PS3?
I did own a PS3. I've owned all the PSs except that bizarre, what was it, PS1, I think it was called, with the little tiny, So yeah, just a few memories of the PS3 I wanted to share was a game I felt like was completely overlooked. It was one of the reasons I bought a PS3 when I saw this. It was a PS3 exclusive. Nobody ever talks about it. It was called 3D Game Heroes. Did anybody play that or know what I'm talking about at all?
No. Never heard of it.
Not. Nobody has. It sucks. It was
it a box title or an indie release?
It was it was by Atlas. Atlas made the game. Mm-hmm. It was kind of an homage to old classic Zelda titles, where everything was this pixelated artwork. Wow, surprise, surprise that I would like that. But it was kind of it wasn't completely top down. It was like an isometric view, but it was almost identical to old school Zelda. But it was like a much, much bigger map. And you could design your own hero. It was a lot like a Zelda 1 and 2 game. But anybody who likes retro games, I highly recommend checking it out. I think it's on Steam now, but I could be wrong about that. But I love that game so much. That and, Jay, you really missed out with... Have you played Uncharted 2 yet?
No, I'm still on 1.
Oh, that Uncharted 2 opening, just that opening on the bus was so fucking cool. That and the Last of Us opening... That was fantastic too.
And The Last of Us, it's incredible.
And the only other thing I wanted to mention was PlayStation Home. Did anybody else ever fuck around in PlayStation Home?
Oh my God, I did for so many times, and I was always left going, "What the fuck is this? Why am I running around in a virtual mall?"
Oh yeah, the whole thing was a big what the fuck. It
was like a what the fuck, like we just covered with Nintendo. Like, what is this? So close to being good, but yet so far away from being anything friggin' useful.
Sounds like the Xbox Live Arcade. Do you remember when they had that? I think they were trying to emulate what Sony was doing.
Yeah, I remember that.
It
Yeah.
was an arcade you could run around in Xbox Arcade on 360. It was weird. It didn't even last like 8 months.
Yeah, it was the PlayStation Home lasted way longer than that, surprisingly. But I mean, like, I never understood the concept of it. You could like run to a movie theater and physically sit down and like watch game trailers, which took so much more effort than just fucking Googling, whatever game trailer, watching it on YouTube. It was so bizarre.
They wanted you to buy like overpriced like clothing, like accessories for your character. Right?
Yeah,
And you go into those stores, like you could go into like Joe, what's that famous skateboarding shoe, the 2 letters?
So DG,
DC.
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah. You could buy, shit like that, for your character. And everybody would be dancing, there'd be like raves going on and stuff.
Oh, PlayStation Home.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's like, what is it called? That's how I found out about Echo Chrome. That's something that I like a lot from. Did anybody else play Echo Chrome?
No, I don't think so. It sounds super familiar though. Describe
It's
it.
like a MC Escher style puzzle game where you use the 6-axis to twist your controller to make a new path for your character. Basically.
Oh, yeah, I almost bought that. I had a PSP Go for a little while because I'm an idiot. And I almost bought that for PSP Go like half a dozen times. It looks so cool.
It was pretty cool. That's a game that stands out. Sorry.
Along the lines of, what Corey mentioned, for me, I had a PS2 very briefly and then it died. And we were moving and I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to go out and buy another one. And I just, offloaded everything. And I was still just strictly kind of like a sports and wrestling and racing guy at that time. So I wasn't really diving into the, God of War and Uncharted and stuff like that. So when I got a PS3, that was like my first introduction to those series. So that, of course, sticks out. I played the first Batman Arkham game on the PS3, so I have memories of that. And, of course, Last of Us. But I also think I was more, for a while there, I was more into the indie offerings on the PS3 than I was on the Xbox. I don't remember any of the titles, but there was some cool stuff on there that I was getting into. But that was like, once my mind started to open up beyond, these retail releases. And I was like, there's people out there making smaller games that I should be aware of. And I was sort of enlightened around that time period.
I really like playing. Did anybody else play Mod Nation Racers on the PS3?
Yes. I remember slamming into that like creation thing over and over again. You go to that hub where you would download all the characters.
That thing was so good. I eventually spent more time downloading characters than I did actually playing the game because it was like Little Big Planet meets Mario Kart, and
exactly,
the character creation was super in depth, and they had like no limit on it. So any character you think of from any pop culture reference anywhere you could play as. So I had like every Avenger, every X-Men. I had like Marty, Doc, the DeLorean, all the Ninja Turtles, all the Ghostbusters, every character from Mario Kart. It was so great to be able to just play as like Iron Man in the Ecto-1, just fucking playing Mario Kart. It's a super hard game though. Even harder than Mario Kart.
It's funny you bring that up because I have distinct memories. This is when my oldest son. When did that came out? You think?
That was, I think, 2010. I think.
So my oldest son is 12 now. So that would mean he'd be 5 years old.
Yeah.
Back then. So he was just getting into all like the superhero stuff. And he'd get up super early. And I have distinct memories of laying down on the couch, going in and out of, consciousness. And I'd give him the controller. And he would just be downloading like a zillion characters. I'd come through and I'd see like, you've downloaded this, and this. Like 5 different variations of Wolverine and Venom and Spider-Man. All sorts of crazy stuff. Definitely an odd-looking system, right? The first iteration of it.
So good.
And pricey, too, right?
$599.
I still have that one sitting next to me. The $599.
The Darth Vader helmet?
Yep. Got that
so
one.
Good. The backwards compatible?
I don't have the OG, like the very first ones off the shelf. I didn't get the I didn't get a PS3 at launch.
I got it at launch.
I didn't
Naturally.
get a PS3 or
come on.
360 at launch. I got them shortly after.
I liked the PS3 when I got it, but I always thought that fucking system was so ugly. I did not like the weird curvature at the top. I didn't like how wasn't there like no button to get the disc out? You would just like run your finger along the bottom and it would spit the disc out. Am I remembering that
hasn't
wrong?
stopped this generation either.
That's true. It's like that now, but I never liked the way it looked.
Yeah, I mean the one that came out afterwards, I have that one too.
I like the piano black, man. The OG, the fucking Darth Vader helmet. That shit was so good.
That's the one I have, the Darth Vader helmet, but not the backwards compatible. So I got the backwards compatible was only like what, a certain model or something like that, like certain like hard drive size or something like that, or maybe
First ones that came out, right?
Yeah, I have the same looking one that you're talking about, just not backwards compatible.
I see. Okay.
That was a big issue that they made it backwards compatibility. I think there was a lawsuit where they actually had to pay people out because they created it to be backwards compatible, and then the future iterations they took it out.
Right.
Yeah, and
we
those
got
were
like $50 or something in the mail or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those were only like I think 20 and 60 gigs too. Those weren't huge hard drives.
Yeah, I got the second iteration as well. I don't have the last one that sort of has the sliding door. I have the
Yeah. Instead of having the disc tray thing, you actually had to slide it in.
Yep.
Ooh.
Any
Don't
other
use
memories?
lube
My
either.
favorite
The disc
memory
gets all
is-
messy.
My favorite memory of the PS3 is that it was just the best gaming console of that generation. So
Shots fired.
Blasphemy.
Another memory is when the online was down for like over a month and a half, and people were losing their
Oh,
minds.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
And
did
then
get Dead
They
Nation
gave
for free
you
though.
they gave you Dead Nation, and then another game of choice. I got the whole Wipeout collection plus a free month of PS Plus. That was cool. I also remember when it got hacked or available to be hacked, and I hacked it and pirated games and played on them, and that's how I played that Castlevania game that came out.
They had a lot of issues with the PS3. A lot of, I'll say, they had the sued because of the backwards compatibility, and then it was supposed to. They were able to run Linux, and then they took that out, so people sued for that. So they had a bunch of issues where they were trying to figure out what they were going to do with the PS3.
In many ways, you guys, you can agree with me or disagree. It almost feels like with the Switch, it's like the PS. I mean, yeah, there was some online stuff with the PS2, but really the PS3 was really Sony discovering what the whole online was.
It was them
about.
learning. Yeah,
and they learned on the
learning
job.
an
and they
online
made-
service.
And they made some dumb mistakes, and I think the hardware or the infrastructure that things are built upon, or how the games are made, was sort of different than everything else, and that's why at least they tell you they can't make things backwards compatible. I don't know.
That online infrastructure in the early days of the PS3 was ugly and clumsy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was like every single game had its own like little friends list or like online, I don't know what you want to call it, UI. And you remember when they added trophies late? Remember, trophies weren't a thing at first.
Right.
They jumped on that bandwagon, which was also a little embarrassing. But I mean, that was when I really gave a shit about trophies at that time. I was, oh, cool, trophies. But they were clearly just trying to tag on.
The PS, that's what even near the end, they caught up and they kind of got things streamlined and got it working, and they started catching up to the 360. I mean, they by emulating what it did, they started to get it. And I think Nintendo is the same thing. They're going to have to do the same thing.
Right.
The PS3 ended up. I think in the end, it caught up in sales with the 360 near the end of the life cycle of that console gen.
Well, their online was free at that time too. I mean,
and that was that's the big thing that did it.
They were like learning and along the way, but they weren't charging yet for it. So that was a fair trade, I thought.
I mean, and what was the biggest game on the PS3? I'm looking for a SNOC response, not a official response here.
Well, I think it's 3D Duck Game Heroes, but fuck all y'all.
It's the downloads. That's what the PS3 was known for. Their best game on there was always the downloads. Anytime you put something in, it needed an update. Right?
That's true.
That was what people knocked it for.
The download game.
Anyways, let's move on. Some quick hits here. Shadow of War has been delayed from August 22nd to October 10th. This is, of course, the sequel to Shadow of Mordor. So again, delays really don't bother me too much. So anybody have any strong feelings about that?
No.
I think the only thing is it's really got to be a good game now because October is probably a busier month than August.
I would agree.
Usually October is when things start to pick up a little bit for the holidays and things like that. So,
Well, Shadow of Mordor did pick up a following. It kind of launched quietly, and just word of mouth was getting around about how good the game was. And I think a lot of people are looking forward now to Shadow of War. So I think it's got a big groundswell behind it.
and last bit of news here before we get on with the rest of the show. GameStop will now, as of June 7th, will allow customers to use their trade-in credit towards Amazon Cash. So let me read this official statement here. Starting in June, Amazon shoppers will be able to apply their GameStop trade credit in cash towards their Amazon account. This exciting addition to our trade-in program is intended to drive incremental trades into stores, helping your team meet trade and inventory goals. So, of course, I'm reading this from GameStop management to managers at stores. On June 7th, the GameStop logo will appear on Amazon website to promote the program. Interested shoppers will request a barcode on Amazon.com/cash that can be used in GameStop stores like an Amazon POSA card. Don't need to read the rest of that. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's surprising because Amazon is like a direct competitor with GameStop. I'm surprised to hear about a partnership because, I think Amazon is one of the reasons that so many GameStops are going out of business, that brick and mortar is kind of going out of business is because of Amazon. So it seems I know I'm going to be accused of just not liking GameStop, but I'm not going to make it a secret. I don't like GameStop. Fuck GameStop. But I think it kind of seems like a little bit of a desperate swipe. Like I'm hoping this, will help us, but I'm going to use the company that's putting us out of business. I don't think GameStop will ever go out of business, but it's bizarre, and I think it's kind of a desperate move. And man, I can't wait to trade in my fucking PS4 to get $7 off cat food.
Right? It's interesting. You can use your game stuff now as collateral for other stuff, right? People that are down on their luck and, shit, they got this PS4 or Xbox One that's collecting dust. They haven't touched it in months, but you know what? They need toilet paper. They need, they need a new...
Trade it in and buy games on Amazon and get the discount.
Well, if you have the Prime, yeah.
Right. I mean, it works out. It seems odd that they would go and get in bed with Amazon like this, but they must have worked something out so that this is going to work, and it's going to benefit them, I should say. So, but it seems odd. It's very un-GameStop like. So.
Well, what GameStop, how they're selling it to their employees is that the added store traffic driven by this program is sure to increase digital sales and the potential for guests to purchase other products in your store.
Yeah, and now they can pitch too when kids come in and they're like, I don't know, man, you're only going to give me $3.50 for this, I don't know, copy of Overwatch. They can be like, dude, you can buy whatever you want on Amazon now. It just seems like a bit more of the spiel to like con people out of their money.
Interesting. See how that all pans out. We'll have to, Jay, touch base with our embedded GameStop friend.
Yes. See how this is working.
It's all just
bullshit,
if you ask me.
I definitely agree with Corey's sentiment. Oh, cool! I could turn in my PS4 for $4 off of cat food. That
let's not
sums it up 100% perfect.
Yeah, I'm all for it. If animals can eat, I'm all for it.
Let's not pretend like this is gonna be an increase in the amount that people get for their trade-ins either. If anything, it's going to be a decrease because this money could potentially be going to their competitor. It's just a way for them to get a used game into their store to resell. Now they're going to want to pay even less for it, if you ask me. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I mean...
there's got to be some way... Let's just make it real simple math. If they're giving you $5 for Overwatch and you're uploading that to Amazon $5, do you think Amazon's then kicking back 15 cents to GameStop?
I doubt it.
I think so. I think it's the other way around.
I bet Amazon walked into that deal with all the power, if you ask me, because I think Amazon's the future as far as game sales go. But I mean, again, I clearly have a horse in this race. I do not like fucking GameStop. So they're just a bunch of...
You son of a bitch.
Have you guys ever gone to a GameStop and bought a digital code? Like those like things that are just hanging on the wall? Like it. Sometimes you'll go in there and see like State of Decay. There'll be like, like a little, code that you can go home and scratch it off, and that'll be the game code. Have you guys ever done that?
Never. No. Why would I could sit here in my underwear and just buy fucking State of Decay and download it from the store.
You're trading in your PS3, and then you're just going and,
or games or something, yeah.
You're right, and just getting
That's
the code.
True.
There are times they have really good deals where they'll have, like, get double the trade-in. I mean, I think Sean on OMG had mentioned that's how he got his Switch, was he traded in his Wii U and a bunch of games, and they had like a 30% bonus if you're a member or whatnot, and he ended up paying like pennies for his Switch. So sometimes it does work out, but
you got to be an opportunist.
I don't know how it'll work with the Amazon deal though. But like I said, maybe you can go on there and Amazon has a deal and you can purchase it and use their discount and it'll work in your favor. I don't know.
I don't think this deal was created to work in anybody's favor aside from Amazon and GameStop's. I think
you're such a cynic, Corey.
I'm the cynic. I wish I could remember right now what you guys were being cynical about last time. I was the only optimist last time, but yes, I'll die on that hill. Fuck GameStop.
Well, let's lighten the mood here and let's get into some of the question of the week answers. I believe before we do that, though, we need to hear from a certain Hall of Fame wrestler.
Goddamn right we do.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
All right, now the question last week, we've been talking a lot about PUBG. Player Unknown Battleground, which, by the way, PUBG, every time I hear that, it sounds like a fucking Irish rapper. Every time I hear PUBG.
I want to go to that pub right now.
Ding, 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 audio.
The question was, if you were in a real-life Battle Royale scenario, which member of the Gamers and Beta crew would you take with you and why? I don't think we were clear about it when we first threw it up on Twitter. Some people were thinking, who would you want to play with, I think.
Right. Well, I want to give props to Eric from Everyday Gamers, because he knew right away what we were getting at. He interpreted it correctly, and then I think RoboPig was thinking more of just the game.
Actual game.
Yeah, so I think if I recall back to the conversation when we came up with the question, this was going to be real life.
Yes, it was going to be real life. So I figured we'd get more creative responses. First response is from Beardy McWhiskey. I love this guy on Twitter. Now, he says, gotta go with Joe. You know what? I don't like you anymore, Beardy McWhiskey. Fuck you. Pick at me. He says, in a pinch, we could use the gold in his mouth to fashion a weapon or use it for trading. Sorry, man. Desperate times. So
I hate to tell you this. Gold makes a terrible weapon. It wears out quickly.
So soft.
Joe, I got to ask you, did you ever get those done?
No, but I mean, I have my gold tooth in general.
All right.
No, hang on to it in case you're ever in a Battle Royale scenario. Beardy McWhiskey's going to rip it out of your head.
We could trade it for a knife.
Right? It's fucking screwed into my fucking skull, so it's going to be rough.
All right, and the next one is at Holy Headshot. He says, I would have to go with Maniac 17. His real-life redneckery outdoes Lucky Phantasm's 2,000 hours in Ark. Lol. I would have to say that's probably true unless you're fighting a storm door, and then you're
hey, I won, dude. I
won.
Out
of luck. Well, you could debate that. That could be a draw.
It did make you bleed. All gone. It's done.
It did make you bleed.
It's in the trash.
Made you vacuum the front yard, dude. Made you look crazy.
Yeah, it did make me vacuum the front yard.
Before we go on, we should say Beardy McWhiskey is from the Future Monkeys and Holy Headshot is from Everyday Gamers. So
yes,
props to those podcasts.
Mm-hmm. And I got to say, Holy Headshot, congrats on the new lawnmower. He had asked me about some info on riding mowers, and he ended up picking one up. So now I think he can fight for himself by using his riding lawnmower and running him all over.
Nice.
Real life redneckery.
Real life.
Go ahead, Joe.
Indio Techno, that's Aaron, MBA. He says, I'd take Maniac 17. That's Jay. Seems like he could survive for a long time without the benefit of modern conveniences. He could teach me a thing or two.
In the bedroom. Oh.
Eric Bouchard, that's AZ Rockslide on Twitter, says, I would take Captain Mike. Anyone who has been in the rock musician culture as long as he has would know how to handle himself.
Kung Fu. Me and my drumsticks, I'd sharpen them right up and stab them in the eye.
If a mosh pit ever opened up in the middle of a jungle, Mike would wreck shit.
Yeah, a bunch of bears and deer come at him. He'd just take his drums and slam them over their heads. They wouldn't be able to see him, and then he'd tickle them to death with the drumsticks.
Keep going, Jay.
Yeah, that got really detailed. I was on board.
All right.
He doesn't like to hurt animals. I couldn't see him sharpening a drumstick and stabbing an animal.
And he's still going. Jeremy, Runer 2 of Dad's Getting Grounded says, Captain Mike M, so I could hide safely in his nest of face pubes. Yes, my face does have a fistful of pubes on it.
That sounds safe and gross.
I haven't shaved since Christmas.
Jesus. Like, not at all? Not even like your neck?
I've gone to the barber and, gotten a haircut, and I said, just clean it up around the mouth so I'm not, like, chewing on my own, like, face pubes.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you don't have to do your neck? Like, that itchiness doesn't bother you? Like the hair that goes down your neck?
It's only itchy for the first week, Corey. When have you ever had a beard?
It brings me endless joy when I'm walking outside and I can see my shadow on the street, and I just see this big, like, fucking Grizzly Adams, like, fucking beard in the shadow.
Epic beard.
Have you grown a beard, Corey?
I have grown a beard, but not down the neck. Like, just like a small little, like, weak pussy ass beard are the only beards I can grow.
Growing down the neck, though, I'm pretty impressed that it developed its own, like, line of demarcation. It's not like just growing down the neck uncontrollably.
Ugh, mine does. It's terrible. I get irritable as shit after about a week, so I could never do that.
I just can't play and grow one, so.
So this is RoboPig. He answered it one way, and then he changed his mind after I told him what the deal was. So he first said, I think Sean is the only PC-only guy in the bunch, which I had to remind him that Joe does have a WASD on his knuckles. Mm-hmm. So I would go with him because he is probably the most adept at mouse and keyboard. So I would have to rely on his elite skills. I mean, hell elite skills. Sorry, I was PUBG focused for that answer, since that's all I see anyone streaming these days. And then he comes back and says, real world, huh? Okay, have to revise then. I think Joe has the take no prisoners mindset, and if he doesn't, I can just lie and tell him all the other competitors are Xbox fans. Job done.
He wins.
I believe that would probably work.
I like the idea of you just like smearing blood on yourself, like the end of Predator, blood and mud, and just writing PS4 on your chest.
And next we have Dr. Johns. After a long consideration, multiple mathematical equations, and computer simulations, hours conferencing with experts and physics, I can tell you the best answer for this question. Pause for dramatic effect, which I have. I'm fucked no matter who I bring.
Pretty much.
Probably, yes.
That's valid. Yep, that is valid. And next we have Plop Ploop. I would pick Mike because I feel like he wouldn't take anyone's bullshit and just flat out kill a mofo. No, please help him. Sick tactics from the enemies would fly. Mike would be over here like, hell no, fuck you, and then smash him over the head with some large stone or stick. However, maybe Mike has a teddy bear inside. I don't know. LOL.
I guess we'll have to find out. One thing is apparent here, Corey, though. What do you think?
Nobody thinks I would survive. Not a single person picked me. Even Sean was mentioned for a second in the whole like PC when it was a PC only question. But nope. Either situation.
You didn't even get a fucking hint.
Nothing. Hey, I want to let you know I can shoot a gun. I have killed things. I have gone hunting. I can shoot.
Corey's the hunter. Yeah.
I can shoot skeet like a motherfucker. So you know what? I don't want any of you bastards on my team. I'll do it myself. I'm Katniss fucking Everdeen over here.
All right, so the deal is here. We can't pick ourselves, Joe. So if you had to pick someone else, who are you picking?
So this is tough.
That's right.
At first, I think like, well, I mean, I want to take Mike. I think we can get along, and I think that he can hold his own.
And we listen to some fucking good tunes while we're going down with the ship.
We listen to some good fucking tunes, yeah. And I've seen you take a fucking pool ball and a sock to the head.
And not fall down.
And not fall down.
Keep
so
going.
you can take it. But the problem is, like, you've never shot a gun.
No, not only a squirt gun. Or those guns at like the amusement, Canopy Lake, that just like you shoot it and then something else happens like on the screen, like
a light gun.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
shot ducks.
Yeah. I've played horde mode with Mike, and I've seen that motherfucker just run into the horde too. So just want to throw that out there. Motherfucker ain't scared.
So he's picking someone else. Get with it, Joe.
So I think I'd probably go with Jay because of, as someone else phrased it perfectly, the modern redneckery, the real life redneckery. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to just fire up a fucking like a 4-wheeler and just get everywhere I need to go. This guy's like in a 4-wheeler club, repairs bridges.
True.
And like, he's.
Now, this is where I'm getting confused with the answer I have to give, because you're relaying survival stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But this is Battle Royale. Like, these things are supposed to go down quick, right?
No.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, in PUBG it does. The map narrows down.
That's true. But you also have to be able to just pop off onto a fucking 4-wheeler and get all over the place, unless you want to hide in a bathroom the whole time.
All right, so let me.
I guess a Jeep works though. You could drive a car probably, and I'm sure you drive pretty aggressively.
Yeah, well, just watch the Battlefield 1 videos.
I think it's really hard between the two, but Mike did shed some light on the subject. I'm gonna go with Mike.
All right,
I'm gonna go with Mike. We're gonna ride around in a Jeep. We're gonna
listen to the Cro-Mags.
We're going to listen to the Cro-Mags, and I'm going to be shooting out of the past.
They're going to pick you guys out just for following the fucking music.
I mean, I got a pretty good fucking aim, and I've definitely had several assault rifles in my time. So, I'm comfortable enough to hang out the fucking passenger window and shoot at people.
Cool. All right, Corey, how about yourself?
I think Jay's redneckery puts him head and shoulders above anybody else. I think this motherfucker could fix some shit in a pinch if need be, and he is also a fellow maniac. I'm from Maine as well. I think we could survive out in the woods for a while. We could just let everybody else slaughter themselves for a little while, and then we could just walk in and pick off the few people cruising around listening to music really loud. That's what our plan I think would be.
No. You also have to take into consideration that Jay just fell through a storm door.
That's true. So if we were setting up points, someone was going to burst in, I could just kick Jay through the storm door because that's his move. He knows how to do that now. So he would tumble forward all Jackie Chan like, and I could mow the guy down.
Yeah, I have my practice. That's what I was thinking as I went through it. I was like, oh, this fits the question of the week so perfect. I survived. So.
All right, what's your answer, Jay?
I would pick Corey because he's from Maine, so he has some wood skills, and I think we could work together. And it would be me and Corey hiding under probably a tree branch or under some roots or hiding in the woods, and we'd sit there until everybody killed each other. Then we pop up and get the last two.
Exactly. We just sit around and drink beer while everybody kills himself.
Fuck yeah, that's a way to do it, man.
How did you not play the sound effect when he said you had wood skills?
I had my finger on the sound effect, but he didn't slow down. I didn't have a moment. So there you go.
He's got wood skills.
Got some wood skills. Yes, sir.
So I can't pick Jay because he is a self-professed sufferer of ADD. So I would be afraid that he would Dick Cheney my ass out there, and take me down. Corey, I know that you don't do the weed anymore, but you still come across at times like a stoner, and I think you might be drunk out there. So you could fall in line as a Dick Cheney type too, and might take me out accidentally. So
Might be drunk.
So for those two reasons, I am going to strike you two from the record. Now, Sean is the wild card in this because we don't know much about Sean. Sean is a mystery man from the Orange County area of New York, and that Poughkeepsie area, it can be rough at times. So I don't know. Maybe he could have some street smarts. I don't know.
Have some skills we don't know about.
Right. But this is my life we're talking about here, so I can't gamble on Sean if I don't know what he's bringing to the party. If he was here, maybe
he's a good bullshitter too. He RPs, so he could fucking lie his way out of some
talk
situations.
His way out of things.
Nobody's fucking talking during this, though.
I was going to say there's no talking during that shit.
But Joe says he's got the shotgun slump and the passenger seat skills. That's good enough for me. Like I said, we'll have some things to commiserate about. We'll have some good tunes going, and fuck shit up. So,
fuck it. And if you do go down, you're going down with good tunes.
That's right.
Good conversation.
Right. So the next Gamers in Beta meetup will take place in the woods. Able to bring your own gun.
Oh shit! Oh, can you imagine doing that? We go out and do a paintball thing.
I played paintball one time in my life. I got so pissed off because as a wearer of glasses, I don't care that powder stuff they tell you to wear. I was so fogged up I couldn't see anything. And I was like, that's it, I'm out. I couldn't see anything. I was like, time out, I'm out. As soon as I got up, some fucking peckerhead shot me right in the head. Oh, I wanted to smash him. I want to smash that dude. Anyways, Corey, what is our question for next week?
Our question for next week is we are quickly approaching E3, so it is E3 centric. Our question of the week is, what is your E3 prediction that you know is a shot in the dark, yet you're still praying to the gaming gods that it comes true? So you know that there's a very small chance this could happen, but you really, really want it to. So we want to hear your most far-fetched, but maybe actually believable E3 predictions.
All right. And we're going to have some music here. We got to hear from Roddy again, and then we're going to get into the voicemails.
Absolutely.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
All right, now for one of my most favorite parts of the show now.
Corey just had a one-man mosh pit in his room.
I had to run over and grab the beer, and I definitely hit the mic when I was trying to get back in front of it, so I apologize for that.
Well, I was trying to cover for you. I was going to say you were moshing.
I almost jaded through the front of my computer screen here. All right, so let's hear from Holy Headshot.
Hey, what's up, Gamers in Beta crew? It is Chris, a.k.a. Holy Headshot. Couple things I wanted to rattle off really quick since you guys only got 2 voicemails last week. I wanted to step it up and say I'm sorry I didn't leave one to congratulate you for episode 200. Awesome milestone. Keep up the great work. I don't have a cool excuse like Meef J did. I wasn't having surgery. I wasn't doing anything cool. I was just a jerk and forgot. So,
motherfucker,
guys, sorry about that. Really enjoy the stuff that you guys do. The show was good. Last week's show was great. I wanted to touch on an old community question and then pose a question for you guys. So you guys asked a while back how we heard of the show. I actually owe it to Meef J, who was talking you guys up quite a bit. I gave it a listen.
Aww.
Found out that there was a little New England representation there and stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, guy.
And it's been awesome hearing the new hosts and the changes. You guys are doing great stuff. So my question to you, you guys have 200 episodes in the bag.
And one.
Even some of the other hosts like Corey have been doing things outside of Gamers in Beta gaming related prior to coming on. So here's the question. What has changed for you guys over time the more immersed you become in gaming culture and the hobby? Do you read reviews less? Are there certain genres you don't like anymore? Have your tastes changed? anything along those lines. I'd be curious to hear the evolution, as it were, of the Gamers in Beta hosts as time has progressed. Is there things that maybe got you all upset and excited in the past that you no longer have those reactions to? Anything along those lines? For me, I've really fallen off the gaming news and reviews content. I don't read reviews anymore. Twitter itself has evolved into a platform where I can get everything that I need, especially with friends and fellow podcasters, and knowing my own tastes right now. I know what price points I'm comfortable gambling at and what I'm not going to like and what I am going to like. So that's it. Hope it makes for a good discussion. You guys have a great week and a great recording this weekend. Take it easy, guys. Keep up the great work. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. That was a good question. I like that.
That's a good question.
Yes. Yeah, Chris is a good guy.
I got to answer some of that before I totally forget what he was talking about. I will say that before Gamers in Beta, my gaming focus was pretty narrow as far as, some sports titles, action adventure, things along those lines, some indie titles here and there. Once I got into doing the podcasting thing, boom, I felt like I needed to know everything, cover everything, subscribing to any newsletters or PR company, and wanted to know about as much as I could. Shortly after that, I quickly realized anything strategy related, turn-based, tactical, anything along those lines, puzzles, immediately tuned out, and I didn't want in my life anymore. And those types of stories or emails or things like that, I don't pay attention to at all anymore. And I'm not going to say my focus is narrowed again. I've certainly expanded with the action RPGs and things like that, and even some now playing that game Dead Cells. That's not a game I would have played probably prior to this podcast. So I guess the short answer is it was narrow, then it expanded, and now over time it's gotten a little bit narrower again. As far as the gaming reviews and stuff, I still look at the reviews probably to reveal. I'd probably read the last paragraph in full and then skim to the rest, and of course I look for the score. But there's industry people that I respect, and I still want to see what they give a score for things.
I can agree with that. The podcast has changed the way I look at games and go through things. I mean, previous to that, I would find a game that I would like, and I would just play the hell out of it. I mean, it still kind of follows in that way. I mean, The Witcher and Fallout 4, stuff like that kind of show that in a way. I would jump into a game and just play. But now with the podcast, I feel that I need to branch out a little more and try to play a little more, even though that has receded lately. I haven't been doing it as much, although get to what we're playing, we'll see that I tried it again this week. But it's tough. One of the big things that has changed, too, since we started podcasting is that I think when we first started, you could grab a good game and start playing it and play it all the way through. But now we keep saying it, but there is a glut of games that come out now. It's hard to grab a game and have it grab you and complete it before the next really good game comes out. It's really tough nowadays. So I think that's one of the big things that has changed. So, but as far as, the changes that have occurred with the podcast is, it's just now I do try to play a piece of everything. Like Mike said, we try to get into it and do everything. There are some genres that I have stayed away from. I don't play the Telltale games that much anymore. I believe there's enough coverage out in other sources where you can get the information from, and they just waiting for the content to come out, and then by the time the content does all come out, I'm playing, Horizon Zero Dawn or a Far Cry or something. So some of those I stay away from, but one of the ones that really hit me, I think, is like What Remains of Edith Finch. If I wasn't podcasting and going to PAX and covering, we didn't have media coverage, I don't think I would have really given that even a look. And that is a fantastic game that I absolutely love. So I hope that answers the question. But That's my thoughts on it there. So
Cool. Who wants to go next, Joe or Corey?
Go ahead, Joe.
I'll go ahead.
All right.
I would say that being involved with podcasting opens my eyes to more indie games, and I necessarily wouldn't have even tried a lot of indie games if I wasn't involved with podcasting. Some indie games I receive codes for to try out and talk about on the podcast. Some indie games I just hear about and I'm like, oh, I should really try that out. Some indie games I just hear a synopsis on what's about to be coming out this week, and it sounds really cool to me. I don't know anything about the game other than that little fucking marketing pitch. But sometimes even that I'll speak out, and I would have just totally overlooked the title if I wasn't opened up to that by being involved with podcasting. Cool. Also, it allows me to be it pushes me to be more critical of games as well.
That's true. I can totally relate to that.
And definitely, I feel like if I find an issue with a game, it's harder to overlook, and sometimes that kind of sucks too, though. But whatever.
Right. You feel you're a fraud if you just say every game is great. There's a certain point where you have to say, you know what, these people are nice. They gave me a code, but still your game sucks. Exactly. And it's one thing to have fun with the game and still enjoy having fun with the game. In another thing to like have fun with the game, but turn your back against the issues just because you're having fun with it. So it's important to admit, like, oh yeah, I still think this game is fun, but it has major frame rate issues. Anytime you play sports ball on this dick and ball game, it crashes. Sort of like a game we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah,
I get where you're going with that, Joe.
And so, like that allows you to just have a more broad scope on the things that you're doing with gaming. No, I like that. I like it.
What about you, Corey?
I would say that, like, ever since I got not even just podcasting, but like entrenched in the whole like games media side of things, when I went from someone who was just playing games and liking them a lot to someone who was, writing and publishing my opinion about them, putting out reviews and so forth.
How's that working out for you?
Not bad right now. Doing the whole freelance thing, so fuck you. We can discuss that later. But
it's on the battlefield.
Yeah. Either way, like, I feel like I've become more sympathetic to the business and developer side of things than I was before. Like, when you see how things really work and you see the relationship between the creatives and the publisher, and you realize that it's an industry, so they need to make money, but at the same time there are these passionate people making games and they'll try to do all they can, but there's deadlines. And I feel like I just understand the industry more, so I'm more sympathetic to them, and I'm less sympathetic to just like angry stereotypical gamers online who bitch about this or that. Like, I have way less tolerance for that kind of shit now, and I make sure that I'm not one of those people who would just nonsensically bitch about something I don't really understand about. And then when this whole Gamergate thing happened, I found myself completely on the side of gaming journalists and the whole collusion thing. I don't want to go down the whole Gamergate rabbit hole. But
please don't.
Yeah, I won't. As far as what games I play, just like Joe said, I play a lot more indie games now that I do the podcast and like write about games and stuff, because I want to play games that aren't just like the big AAA titles anymore. When I hear about a game that's doing something that I've never played a game that does, like Superhot. When I found out about Superhot, I was like, that sounds super cool. I really, really want to try that. And other indie games like, Gone Home and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have heard about if I wasn't doing podcasting or listening to podcasts. And as far as being a podcaster, now I try to play games. I go out of my way to play other games, so I'll have something to discuss.
My dog has busted in the room. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's all right.
So someone just go through a screen door? What just happened?
No. I waved my wife down for a beer, and the dog busted in.
And
Keep going, I'm listening.
not just in gaming, but I also try to do just random shit throughout my day, so I'll have some sort of funny story for the podcast. If I see something like stupid, this is a dumb idea, maybe I'll give it a shot. It'll make for a funny story. So I find myself doing that more and more now that I'm on a show and have to talk. So I want to be able to share my stupid stories.
I will say one thing before we wrap this part up is the one thing you mentioned, the more of the business side is I am less sympathetic to people out there. Give me more free games. I'm paying $60 a month. Give me more free stuff. As you get to know the PR people, as you get to know the developers, Corey has said this a million times in the show. These people got to eat too, right?
Yeah, they got to buy toilet paper. I think I went over that before too.
And you're asking them to basically work on a game for 4 years and then give it to you for free, right? So I am less sympathetic to the people that just want a handout. But let's move on, gentlemen. We have lots to talk about here, and I believe we have one more phone call from...
Oh, you know who it's from.
Gamers in Beta. What's up, fellas? You know who it is, of course. It's Fred French calling in. Love the last show. I want to thank everybody so much for taking time in the show to answer my question. Great hearing from all you guys as to your preference in grilling and what you like to grill on the grill.
Oh, yeah, the grill question.
Great summer ahead of us, boys. Great summer ahead of us. Captain Mike, I got to say, I'm going to look for that mustard beer. You got my interest peaked there. That took it interesting. If I try it, maybe I'll even give you guys a review of what I thought of it. If I could track that down, I'm going to look into that the best I could.
Mustard reviews. We should start that.
What I'd like to do now is answer your question of the week. Boy, it was a tough one, guys. I mean, I like everybody on the crew. I don't know. It was tough to pick just one of yours, but I answer. And my pick is Corey.
Yes. Oh, there it is.
Pick anyone else, but that guy went and made his own homemade flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That is great. And with that, I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. My neighbor's over there having a cookout, and I believe someone's about to put ketchup and not mustard on their hot dog.
Fucking heathens.
Hey. Sorry about that, guys. I interrupted them. Talk to you guys. You're more important than those neighbors and their lousy choice of what they're putting on.
Assholes.
I fucking love this guy.
Condiment Crusaders.
Outstanding show. You're the number one podcast. You guys are indeed a 5-star out of 5-star production. Have a great weekend, guys. See ya.
Yes, Fred French, I love you so much more now. You
Fred
picked
French,
me.
I'm out.
Awesome.
Forgot about the flamethrower.
He yells. Hey! No ketchup mustard.
All right, like I said, we got a lot to get to here, but we do have some more listener questions. Let's try to answer these as quickly as we can. From Discord, Dreamscape Zero. The question I have, how did each of you get into podcasting and the name of the first podcast you were on? Quickly, for me, Gamers in Beta is pretty much the first. But however, the very first thing I ever did was from 2006. There was a Boston community message board called The Noise, and they would feature a podcast once a month. And so you'd go on there, you'd create your own thing, you'd play some music, you'd be like a DJ, right? You'd play a bunch of songs, come back, tell people who you played, you might have a funny story, and then play some more. So that's the very first thing I ever did, and that was in 2006. I still have that, and I should put that on the show as a lost episode or something, but...
I would listen to that.
Extra.
Other than that, it's always been pretty much Gamers in Beta is the first thing that I've done. Corey, you were on another podcast before that you used to do in person, right? Is that your very first podcast?
That wasn't my cherry, my podcast cherry. The very first one I did. Yeah, dude, I'm a total veteran at this bullshit. No, first one I did was this tiny little site that is now defunct. It was called robotgeek.co.uk. It was a UK site, and we did the American version of their podcast. Eventually got renamed Some Assembly Required. All those episodes are probably totally gone now. But yeah, that was the first podcast I did. That's where we actually came up with the idea for the game. So that's the super, super early origin of like the game show. We did some very, very rough game shows. These ones are much more refined. Trust me, you're not missing anything by not hearing those.
And what was the podcast after that?
After that was 8-Bit Proof. That was the one that you were talking about.
About the in-person thing.
Yeah, there was 4 of us, and we would all get together in person. We got to about 30 episodes before it just kind of fell off, and we just didn't have the time to get together anymore. People started having kids. People started getting married, stuff like that. So it just kind of fell off, unfortunately.
How much time was there in between that podcast and Gamers in Beta, roughly?
I think 8-Bit Proof died off, and then there was about I think maybe a month and a half, and you guys invited me on for a guest spot, and I think that's how it started.
Okay. Jay, I know your answer. This is your first, right?
Yes. Yeah, this was my first. And like said, like discussed in 200, it started just from we would have conversations while we were playing games, multiplayer and whatnot, and we'd get together. And, when they had news briefings or whatever, we'd get online and talk. And it led to Gamers in Beta. So
there we are. And Joe, do you want to talk about yours, or you choose not to?
We'll pass.
You'll pass. You have now. Let's not wipe out your complete podcast history here. You did have a comic book podcast that was going for a little bit there. What was that in? Trade Waiters?
Trade Waiters, yeah. I did host that with a couple of friends that I've known since high school.
Yep.
And every episode we would read a trade paperback comic book. And then we would basically have a book club every episode. And it went pretty well, but unfortunately life took over and we had to let it fall to the side.
And you have a podcast with your wife for the eBay stuff?
Well, that's kind of under attack right now.
Oh, okay.
But we kind of have a podcast / just YouTube channel. But it's on hiatus for the time being as of like 2 days ago.
Gotcha. All right. Let's move on to the next question here. We'll try to get to these quickly. Plop Ploop. As a cell phone user, do you have to have custom ringtones or just the default ones provided on the phone? So I do not like cell phone sounds. I have all my sounds turned off. I am strictly a Vibrate man only. So,
God, we have to isolate that.
Yeah, I am a Vibrate man only. I do not have any cell phone sounds and when I do have it on, it's just all out of the box default ones. Anybody else have a better answer than that?
For the longest time, I used the alert sound from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Noise.
I used to have that on the soundboard.
And also the codec noise. And, yep. And after a while, I realized that I always just have my phone on silent and rely on Vibrate only. And so when I did my last upgrade, it was the first phone in like 3 or 4 upgrades that I did not go out of my way to put that ringer on. So,
what about you, Corey? Are you a Vibrate man, or you need your sounds?
Oh, of course I'm a Vibrate man, but that has nothing to do with this question, right?
Oh, little hush and tush, hush and lush.
I when I first got a cell phone, when my first batch of cell phones, I would always go out of my way to put video game sound effects on there for the notifications, like the the duck hunt noise when you would get a duck, or like the 1-up noise when you get a text or whatever.
Duck?
When you get a duck, yeah, you don't get ducks on your cell phone. I get ducks all the time on my cell phone. Someone sent me a duck pic the other day. But now, like I don't even bother. I'm too lazy. I just do the default question or the default questions. Shit, I can't talk. I've had 2 beers.
Corey's drunk again.
Yeah,
I'm old now, so I think that's also part of it.
Jay, are you a Vibrate man or sound? You need your sounds with your.
I do.
With the hearing going, you think you're probably a Vibrate man.
No, I use the Audible one, so I do have that on. This falls into a Dilligaff because, like I said, kind of like Corey said, I just use the default now. I don't generally program in for my standard phone ring. However, my wife does have a specific one, so it's Voodoo by Godsmack. So
really,
yes.
Oh, brother.
I'm surprised that. Well, I just want to actually double check here. Do they let you have custom tones on the Jitterbug?
I haven't switched to the Jitterbug yet. Maybe next time I go through a window.
My wife has had her text message sound effects noise for the past like 3 phones has been that like Law and Order like bum bum in between scenes. You know what I'm talking about? That's so whenever she gets a text, I always feel like someone's going to tell me that someone just got raped in Central Park. Like every single time she gets a text, dun dun.
Oh, just for some audio cues, this is what I use now. Let's see.
It's great radio.
Are we going to hear voodoo? Oh my God.
Oh, that's weird.
We should warn people to pull the headphones away from their ear first.
That
Yeah,
one
the
annoyed
old
me
phone.
after the first time.
Yeah.
Christ.
Hey, I can't miss it. Like I said, my hearing's going. I hear that motherfucker.
My hearing's going now too. Thanks.
Now, this next question comes from Devious Mr. Matt, and why we are reading the question, AZ Rockside is answering the question with a voluminous report of games. So no one look on Twitter for the answers, I guess. Devious Mr. Matt says, good question for the Gamers in Beta crew. How many video games have a female lead? He lists Metroid, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect, if you choose a woman. What else? So right off the top of my head, I instantly thought Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah. I mean, he wants all of them? Well, fuck, we're not Wikipedia.
Anybody have ones that just come to mind that are... the ones that came to mind for me were right away were Tomb Raider and Bayonetta.
Blood Rain?
Blood Rain, yeah. Metroid first came to mind, but he wrote that.
I can't remember the name of the game, but it was one of the launch titles on PS3. Where you like are a chick that goes around with a sword. Ah, fuck! I can't think of it. Sorry. Go ahead, Corey. I shouldn't have interrupted you. I'm a dick.
I was just gonna say Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark is one.
Alice.
Alice, the Alice Wonderland, right?
Gone.
And then there was
that EA game. That EA game.
Matter of fact, I just purchased that. It was on sale on the backwards compatibility, so I purchased that.
Heavenly Sword.
Oh, Heavenly Sword, yeah. Mirror's Edge.
That was good.
That's a Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, the Mirror's Edge games. But let's give some credit to
Portal.
Yeah, I was going to let's give Eric some credit. He gave us a bunch of answers here. So, in the interest of time, I will read some of them. He says Left 4 Dead has an option to play as a female character.
Zoe,
Portal, Remember Me, Tomb Raider, Beyond Good and Evil, Infamous First Light, Blades of Time, Blood Rain, one of the characters in Hunted the Demon Forge, and Borderlands has several female leads.
The Last of Us for a short time.
What's
the
that
DLC in Last of Us?
True, yeah.
What's that parkour game?
Mirror's Edge, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Parkour.
All right, so those are some of the questions that we had this week, so I appreciate everybody chiming in. We're going to have our own little game here, an E3 game. How this is going to work, Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, is we're going to each read off one prediction at a time, and then we're going to score it, whether it's plausible or whether it's...
Oh, whether it is...
Bullshit.
Thank you. And the ones that get the most plausible votes will be our final predictions for E3. So, Joe, why don't you go first and give us one of your E3 predictions? Did we have music for this, Corey, did we?
We did not. I'm sorry. I should have grabbed music. I wasn't even thinking about it.
No, not a problem. I didn't want to ruin if you did all that work. Go ahead, Joe. Give us a prediction.
Microsoft announces the next Halo. I will yawn and make fun of it.
I'm going to say that is plausible on both fronts.
About the yawn, that's a definite. I don't even think we should say that's plausible. Yeah, I'd say as far as a teaser goes, I could see like some artwork going up for Halo 6.
Let's clarify. Is it Halo 6 or is it Halo like OTSD or whatever?
Look,
I
dude,
would play Halo
couldn't fucking tell you the difference between any of those games.
So you're just saying a Halo game in general?
Sure. Not the RTS one. It's going to be a first-person shooter one. I don't know if it has the green guy or the other one.
I gotcha.
The green guy. You know what his name is. Fuck you.
So are we saying 3 plausible in that? Are you saying plausible too, Jay?
I'm saying that them having like a trailer or something, just mentioning it?
They're not going to give a release date, but they'll give a fucking cinematic.
That's a definite.
Okay, so cinematic. We're talking cinematic.
At minimum.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
a definite gimme.
All right.
Corey, why don't you go next with your E3?
Okay, my prediction, I'm going Microsoft as well. Microsoft will announce that Scalebound is back from the dead, and there is a new developer, and they'll give a release window. Not a release date, obviously, but a release window. Probably Q1 or Q2 of 2018, I'm thinking.
That's a tough one.
I'm saying no.
Oh,
I'll go with it's plausible because I was hella going to say that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go with Joe. It's plausible. I think half of it's plausible. I don't think you'd get a release date, but I think it's plausible that they'd come back and announce that they're bringing it back.
Sorry, that gets 2 votes.
So that only got 2. All right, so right now Halo is I say we only have if it gets all 3 votes. I think those are the only ones we should hang on to.
Yep. Jay, what is your first E3 prediction?
Well, I'm going to stick with Microsoft, and I'm going to say that they're going to announce new hardware, HoloLens or a VR kind of setup that will work with Scorpio or PC, Windows 10, with a Forza Minecraft game shown on it.
All right.
Forza or Minecraft, you're saying?
Yeah,
right.
Forza, yep.
Oh, I was like, Forza Minecraft. That's a fucking trip.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Does anybody feel that it's not plausible?
I think I think it's definitely plausible.
All right.
Yeah, I guess it's plausible.
All right.
You don't have to be happy about it, Joe.
I'm not.
Yeah, it is Microsoft, so, or I should say Xbox.
I am going to break from the Microsoft news right now and say we are going to see for the first time Borderlands 3, and I'm going to say it's going to be, I guess I'm going to tie this actually into Microsoft. It's going to be Borderlands 3, and it's going to have some exclusive content for the Scorpio.
Oh, I call
bullshit
on that one.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. I don't think they're dumb enough to tie themselves to just one console.
No, I didn't say one. I said exclusive content, like Destiny has exclusive content for the PS4. They're going to have
right, but that's part of the prediction is that they will have exclusive content for the Xbox, correct?
Right.
Scorpio. He said Scorpio.
For Scorpio, yeah.
That's going to be part of the Scorpio showcase,
Okay, I see what you're saying. They'll announce it during that. I'm going to have to say no because I think you're right. I think they'll announce it, but I don't think that it will be a Microsoft thing.
If anything, I think it'd be a PS4 thing. But
yeah,
that's
all right. So that's getting 0 votes except for me. All right.
What about Joe? Did Joe say plausible?
Yeah.
Didn't sound like it.
Bullshit, I'll say.
So
bullshit.
All right.
Bullshit.
All right.
Joe, what is your next?
I say Nintendo will announce a full lineup of mobile apps as well as a central hub for competitive scorekeeping on mobile.
Son of a bitch. Fucking took my shit.
I'm gonna
really?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna say bullshit on that. I don't trust Nintendo with any of this stuff right now, so I'm gonna say no.
All right, before I give mine, I want to hear the specifics of yours. Give me the bullet points of it, because I know mobile, but like, what are they unveiling via mobile?
Like, what games?
Well, you said they're going to unveil their mobile stuff. Like, what else? What did you say about scoring?
I say they'll announce a full lineup of mobile apps or games, as well as a central hub for competitive scorekeeping.
Oh, okay. See, I disagree with the competitive scorekeeping thing, but I totally agree with you on the mobile app. So I guess I'll say I agree, but it doesn't matter. I already got one bullshit. So,
Jay, what about you?
I think it's plausible.
All right, so that gets 2 plausibles.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. If you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's not plausible because they're not doing an announcement at E3.
Well, they're having one of those shows. They're having one of those Treehouse.
Okay, so if we consider it their Treehouse thing, yes, it's plausible.
Yeah, definitely include that.
Corey, what is your next one?
I might as well follow up on that. This is like a takeoff of that. I say Nintendo will show off mobile stuff, but specifically they're going to unveil their Nintendo app, that we spoke about earlier, the specific Nintendo app for and they're going to show how it works, inviting people to games and so forth, and they're going to unveil the Animal Crossing mobile game.
What?
I think that's where you lose me. I don't think they're going to have that stuff ready. I think the only mobile app they got is Zelda going on right now.
It won't be playable. They're just show it off. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm going to say bullshit.
Bullshit.
Anybody
Bullshit.
else?
Bolshevik.
All right,
God damn.
Bullshit.
All right, Jay, you're up.
Let's see. What should I grab here? Let's go with the easy one. Sony will announce a Horizon Zero Dawn DLC and release date.
I think, of course, they will. I give that a definite plausible.
That was my just ballpark one.
I'm going to say bullshit.
Bullshit.
Joe?
I say it's plausible.
All right, so that gets 2. Next for me, because the movie is coming out so soon, I believe at E3, Sony is going to give you the actual name of the Insomniac Spider-Man game and a release date.
Ooh.
I definitely plausible. Yeah, it's a good point with the movie.
Yep.
The name.
So there you go. That's the next one on the list. Everyone else has been shot down.
Is that 3 all around?
Oh yeah.
So we have 3 right now so far. The Halo game, HoloLens, and Spider-Man all get 3 votes.
Well, Jay just said hardware in general, right? Was he speculating a HoloLens?
The hardware being a VR or HoloLens that will work with Scorpio and have one of those games announced.
Okay.
Or gameplay shown.
Me.
All right, Joe, you're up again.
PlayStation announces a new pack-in VR bundle, probably with Farpoint in box, and the price point will be $150 to $200 over the PS4 Pro cost.
Okay.
So you're saying they'll launch a console bundle?
They will announce a bundle with a VR with the PlayStation VR pack-in, and
so it's a one-stop shop. You buy it, and you get the PS4, you get the
Pro.
PS4 VR,
you get Farpoint,
right,
and the aim controller,
and that weird controller, yeah. And it's going to be $150
Bastard,
to $200.
you stole mine.
So about $600.
All right.
I say that's
bullshit.
Oh, really?
It's cost
Bullshit.
I say that's plausible.
I think it makes too much sense, and that's why it won't happen.
I don't. Bullshit. Was that
Bullshit.
Right? Corey, you're up.
All right, I think this is a slam dunk. During the Sony presentation, From Software is going to announce Bloodborne 2, probably with a teaser. It's not going to be like a full trailer, and it's probably going to have a 2018 release date. Maybe holiday 2017, but I highly doubt it.
I think that's plausible. Jay?
Plausible.
Yeah, I got on the board.
3. All right, Jay, you're next.
I'm going to have to go with Joe, but my take is a little bit different on it. I believe that Sony will come out and announce more VR games that are going to work with the aim controller.
Oh, like the thing that came out for Farpoint.
So
right. They'll announce more games that will support or work with the aim controller in VR.
Again, I'm going to say bullshit because it just makes too much sense, and I think they're going to try to get PSVR into hands that everything is more accessible, and they're not going to get you up there with something that's going to bog the experience down. So I'm going to say bullshit.
I'm also going to say bullshit because I don't think that that gun has been around long enough for developers to really get their hands on it. I could be wrong about that. I don't know who has proprietary rights over that. Maybe it's Sony. I assume
that is a Sony peripheral. It is
okay.
SOCOM had the rifle with the ball at the end too.
Right. Yeah.
True.
And that didn't do much. So
yeah, so that's why I'm saying bullshit.
I still think it's a little that it hasn't been around long enough. I call bullshit on it.
Yeah,
bullshit.
I say bullshit as well.
All right. Xbox is going to announce the official name of Project Scorpio, and people are going to be upset at the name and are going to wish they just kept it at Scorpio.
That's a fucking gimme.
That's a given. You're cheating.
That's cheating.
You can't say
cheat,
gamers are going to
Dr.
be
Jones.
upset. Come on.
It's going to be something stupid like Xbox One Power Pro Plus give you a kung fu hand job behind your back, and they should have
buy
just kept
that.
it at Scorpio.
Kung fu hand job behind your back.
That's
Now-
really tugging it.
I'll be honest. I thought Scorpio was they named it the official. That's not their. That's still the working
Still a
title or
code name.
whatever.
Still Project Scorpio, yeah.
I almost shut my mouth. I didn't know that.
Stupid.
Like I'm not trying to say like of course gamers will be upset about the name, but like the Wii U was universally panned, is what I'm trying to get at.
So you're saying it's going to be bad. It's not just like gamers will be mad. You're saying like even just the average person will be like, what the fuck? What?
Exactly. Yep.
I will say that's totally plausible because I mean they named their third iteration of their console the One. So yeah, I think that's totally plausible.
Yeah. That, like I said, I'm still going with that's a gimme, plausible.
Joe?
I mean, I said that was a given, so
right.
that's where I stand.
Okay. You're next, Joe. We should all have 2 answers left.
Microsoft announces Xbox Scorpio comes with actual scorpion tail to ward you off from wasting your time turning it on.
That's a tough one, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that's what, Corey?
Probably.
Bullshit.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a plausible because why not?
I'm going to say if they release the state edition, it would be plausible, but I don't think they're going to release the state edition, so bullshit.
Bullshit.
All right, Corey.
The next one, I really feel like we're targeting Microsoft here. Microsoft, I think, will make a really big push with this whole Xbox Games Pass thing. And I think they're going to push the one thing it really needs, the thing that Netflix has, is they're going to push.
They're going to push.
They're going to push out. They're going to push new original games on Games Pass, like possibly exclusive titles on Pass.
I'm going to give you a plausible because I don't think you nailed it specifically, but I think they're going to do something to sweeten the pot of Xbox Game Pass.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the Scorpion attacking Joe.
That was a scorpion tail. Joe got it.
Fucking scorpions.
So I'm giving him a 1. Anybody else giving him a plausible?
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Joe?
I'm going to give him a bullshit. Nobody thinks that's a good idea, and they're going to back out of it just like they backed out of saying that they won't support used games, and everybody's going to have a fucking console connected to the internet and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, but just because something's a bad idea doesn't mean a company won't support it for a long time, and we did talk about PlayStation Home for a while.
Well, the thing is, it hasn't. Well, has it come out already?
Yes.
Well, then I guess they'll push it. Fucking whatever. I give it a plausible. I change it.
That's 2. All right, Jay.
All right, let me get into my questions here, and we'll say which one I'm going to pick here. We still have 2 to go, right? So,
And keep in mind, I have to edit this tomorrow morning.
Battlefront 2 gameplay with the announcement of content tied to the next Star Wars movie. With an extra bonus, they'll mention that the new Peggle game's coming out too. This is coming from EA.
Now you're really going off the rails. I'm going to say plausible for the Battlefront stuff.
Yeah, we'll take the Peggle part out. But yeah, Battlefront 2 gameplay with announcement of content tied to the next Star Wars movie upcoming.
And you say this is going to be like the EA announcement. This won't
It'll be
like
a EA announcement, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a plausible too because they've gone out of their way to say that they're covering all different Star Wars, generations. So yeah, they probably will do something along the lines in the new movie too.
Plausible.
All right. Xbox announces 2 IPs that we had no clue about.
Brand new.
Whether they move the needle or not, I don't know. But they're gonna announce at a minimum 2 brand new IPs.
I say bullshit.
Bullshit.
I agree. Xbox
Plausible.
in the business of putting out original games.
Yeah, and if they don't, they're fucked. So
All right, so just
Plausible.
one plausible. All right, this is the last one, guys. Last one for each one of us, so go for it. Joe.
Ubisoft will show cinematic trailers scattered between horrible stage show breaks. Far Cry 5 will look so cool.
I'm going to say plausible because I want to see Aisha Taylor and Far Cry 5 and how she's going to play that off. Will there be any racial undertones, overtones, or innuendos while she's doing Far Cry 5?
I think it's always a given that things are going to be awkward as shit. They always are. And I think without a doubt they're going to show off Far Cry 5. I mean, they've already put out how many trailers? There was a couple of trailers right off the bat. So yeah, I think they'll probably do like maybe 10 minutes of gameplay or something like that.
So everybody plausible for Far Cry 5? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Corey?
This one, I already say this one is bullshit because Joe's was better with that whole pack-in deal. I was going to say Sony's going to announce a minor price drop for PSVR, but I think Joe's is way better.
Okay, price drop for VR. I'm going to say bullshit.
Bullshit.
I'm gonna say bullshit too.
Yeah, pack-in I think is way more likely. I just didn't even think of that.
Yeah, if they're going to do anything, I think they would do the pack-in. So.
All right, Jay, your last one.
This is from the Bethesda presser. A new Wolfenstein game with release date announced. They will show gameplay footage and give you a release date.
Plausible. What else are they going to have at their presser then? Right?
Exactly. This was
Skyrim for Switch. I don't think there's another Skyrim game ready. Fallout 4. They just put out Prey. So what would be next? Either another Doom or Wolfenstein or something we don't know about, right?
Right. Wolfenstein is pretty much the only guarantee. This was when I threw it in here. This was one of my trying to hit on the nose guesses.
Yeah. So far, Jay, all yours have been plausible because they've really been like
predictable.
I think all the ones we have are threes. They're all J's.
Lacking imagination.
I'm going to say bullshit just because I don't think they're going to announce. They're not going to give us a solid release date. So I'm going to say bullshit just because of that one part. But I would be surprised if they didn't at least mention Wolfenstein.
Right, but that's what Bethesda does, though, is they mention, they bring it out immediately.
They have done that in the past, but
that's the reason I went with that.
Hey, here we go. Are we ready for the last one, Corey?
Hey,
what's that new sound effect you have on the board?
Give us your last one, sir.
Sony will not take a back seat to Microsoft, and they will pull a Project Scorpio move, and they will end their press conference with the PS5. And they're going to just leave it like that, and then they'll be back a year later to show you the details of the PS5. Just like the Scorpio ended E3 last year.
They're just going to try to mic drop it and be like, oh, yeah, PS5. And then just all the lights will go off.
Yep, I think that's what's going to happen at the end. And coming in 2018-19, the PS5.
I got to
plausible.
I say
bullshit.
I say plausible, to be honest. It's like an arms race right now, so everybody's just trying to one up the other.
Yeah.
So the plausible ones we had that all got 3 was a Halo game, some sort of VR compatibility for Scorpio, more details confirmed for the Spider-Man game, Bloodborne 2, and the other 2 were Battlefront 2.
New Scorpio name, too.
The new Scorpio, the new Scorpio name, Battlefront 2, and the last one we had was Ubisoft doing Far Cry 5.
So are we only going to have 5? Do we have to knock off a couple of these? Is that what we need to do?
1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6.
If we had to knock off one, I would say the Microsoft hardware one. That's the one I think is least likely out of all of these.
I feel like the Far Cry 5 one is just such a gimme, though, that it shouldn't even be considered. I feel like we know that's going to be there. I feel like that and the Battlefront 2 ones are just like, no shit, those are going to be there.
Battlefront 2, definitely. But he said there's going to be some sort of inclusion about content from the new Star Wars game.
Right. They'll show gameplay and movie connection.
I thought they already told us that, though.
Did they?
Not for the new movie,
it was going to be all the movies. I thought they said it was going to even be all the ones.
Oh, I thought they said it would include stuff from the last movie that came out, not the one coming out.
Rogue One.
Correct.
Well,
All right.
yeah, I would agree with Corey that I think it is a mistake if Microsoft gets up on stage and talks about Scorpio and then they try to shoehorn VR into it. They need to beat people over the head with games, and not convolute the message with, oh, by the way, you need to buy something else to work with the Scorpio, because that's going to be the take-home message if they get up there with the VR crap.
And it's
That's
not
true.
a deck.
That would be my vote to knock out, but you guys can debate if you like.
I'm fine with knocking that out.
Corey?
Yeah. I say that's the least likely out of all of these. I think Spider-Man is a gimme. Bloodborne 2 is a gimme. Battlefront, Far Cry's are gimmies. Halo probably, and Scorpio new name. Well, fuck, what do I know? I thought Scorpio was the official title, so I feel like I can't even talk about that one.
Exactly.
You're
So that's
really
a guarantee.
forgetting the most important part of mine is that the Far Cry stuff is going to have awkward stage shows in between.
Oh, yeah, I think that's going to be awkward when Aisha Taylor has to do the Far Cry 5 stuff.
You got to mention that part. That's very important.
Well, there's always so much awkwardness.
Goddamn, Ubisoft
I
is
agree.
so fucking awkward, though. What did they have
I'm in
last time?
agreement.
Like
So
giraffe
this-
people, and I don't even.
We're still left with 6.
Wait, so we got rid of the Microsoft one. Oh,
Yep,
yeah, we are left with 6.
We're left with the Halo game, Spider-Man, Bloodborne. Scorpio name is revealed and widely panned for the name Battlefront 2, and then the Ubisoft Far Cry 5 awkwardness.
I would vote to get rid of people disliking whatever Scorpio is going to be changed to, because I mean, people
Guaranteed.
announced the NX was actually going to be called the Switch, and that was surprisingly accepted by most people.
Because it
So-
made sense, right?
Right, exactly. So there is the chance that maybe gamers won't get universally mad at something. That it's happened. There's precedent.
That's the more unlikely one, though.
Yeah, but Nintendo's the darling.
Nah.
Xbox.
People always are lined up to give Nintendo another chance, right?
I don't know. A lot of people just see Nintendo as just for pussy babies. Only they play Nintendo games. Like it's a darling to us, but I think to maybe a younger generation, it's not.
Jay,
Only
give us
pussy babies play Nintendo.
Jay, which
What's
one
that?
do you take? Which one are you getting rid of, Jay?
If you guys all want to get rid of the Microsoft one, I could do that. I mean,
I don't want to
Joe?
go for the Microsoft one. I find that very plausible.
Well, Joe, you're outruled because that's 2-1.
Whatever.
Which one would you vote off? Talk me into it.
I think mine is the biggest risk. I think the other ones are all slam dunks. So the Scorpio name being widely panned is a bigger risk out of the other ones seem like all like gimmies.
I feel like
So
the name being panned is. I can almost guarantee that's going to happen. People are going to bitch about it.
not bitch. Widely panned like
Like Wii U, stupid.
Wii U
Yeah.
across the board.
You mean
no
like
one
one?
liked the name. No, one is people that love one.
I mean,
Xbone.
anything that's been announced, whenever they announce it. I think the Switch was not widely panned, but that's probably the last one that wasn't widely panned. The rest of them have pretty much been widely panned, haven't they? Except, that and not a PS4.
Right.
Well, will we as a podcast
Keep in mind, we still have the whole other half
of
the show to do.
Yeah, let's move on. We got to move on. Maybe we should just do
Fine.
6. Should we hang on to 6 instead of 5? Because these are all pretty
No.
good.
Whatever.
All
Take
right.
it off.
And her.
All right, there's our list. We'll come
We
back and
debated
see
and
what
we
happens
kept it.
next week. But now, where are we with this whole thing? Games that we've been playing. All right, that's what we're moving on to now.
Mine's
Sure.
super short, so
So why don't you go first? We'll all try to be as brief as possible here.
All right, 2 games I'm playing. One I'm playing for review, so I literally can't talk about it because of embargo. It's a game called Randall. It's a PS4 and Steam game. It's like a 2D platformer. That's really all I could say about it right now. And the other game I've been trying to play is the Culling on the Xbox One, but I don't know if anybody else has been keeping up with this. But it's a battle royale type game, and the servers have been down since the game released on Friday. They're still not up yet. So you literally can't play the game at all. You can play.
What's the
You're having the
explanation?
same issues as Friday the 13th, then.
It's server issues. Just
Right,
too,
yeah, you
too
can't
many people
connect.
trying to play. Right.
Now, is their Twitter feed being as proactive as Friday the 13th? Or
Yes.
do you feel like you're getting news at least?
Yes, they're updating people every couple of hours. They're saying, we're still working on it. We're still working on it. Odds are that it's not going to be tonight. So people aren't getting their hopes up. They've been talking to the audience a lot. So I'll give them credit for that. And I'm not going to get that upset about it because as bummed as I am about not being able to play it, they've been working, 48 hours straight on this problem. I haven't had to do that. So
at the same sense, it didn't sneak up on them though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
for
honestly,
nothing to work, it seems a little outrageous. I've seen people play Friday the 13th.
They're not the only studio to ever have servers not work when they launch.
Right.
I couldn't tell you what happens, why that happens so often, but I don't understand how you can't prepare for it. Just
especially since it's Xbox and they told you you're going to have the Azure cloud or whatever it's called. Aren't they supposed to be helping these people out?
Couldn't you overestimate the amount of people playing it and then back off if needed? But I mean, I've never launched.
This is where I want Jay to chime in, and he's always telling us about the cloud and stuff like that. This is supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, console exclusive. How come they're not stepping in and giving these people the hand?
I don't know. They must have the same guys that keep working on fucking Skype.
All right.
They
Anything
just
else,
got
Corey?
Skype figured out. Jesus.
Nope, that's the only two things for me.
All right. Joe, how about yourself?
Well, it's pretty much all repeats for me.
Let me help you out here. You got a Switch. That's new news.
I got a Switch. Right? I did.
And
I got a Switch. So I picked up 3 games for it. I got 1-2 Switch. I got Puyo Puyo Tetris, and I got Zoraldo Breath of the Wild.
Never heard of it.
And so I have definitely put in a lot of time with Zelda. That's an obvious, it's fucking a total given. Am I right? So, obviously, that has kind of been beat to death with the whole podcasting community.
A thumbs up or thumbs down?
Everybody's played it. It's pretty good. And I like it, and I am continuing to go. I totally got lost on some shit. That sucked, but luckily I have a fucking open Twitter chat with you guys, so you were able to help me out.
Now?
And then I put in a lot of time actually with 1-2 Switch. A lot of people thought it was dumb, whatever. It's for pussy babies.
Pussy babies.
It's basically like a minigame collection that uses the motion controls. Des, my stepson, and I have played it every day since I got the Switch. We both think it's super fun, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's very, very fun.
What kind of controller are you using? Are you using the individuals or put them together? How are you using it?
Well, it's motion control, so you have to use the Joy-Cons. And
I thought you could use a regular controller too.
For 1-2 Switch?
Yeah.
No, not for most of the mini games. Like we have to fucking like eat a sandwich and shit. I don't.
Yeah.
Can't do that with a Pro
okay,
controller.
I gotcha.
How are you playing Zelda? Are you playing Zelda docked with the Pro controller, or are you playing it on?
I haven't. The only time I docked is for 1-2 Switch. But they have some cool stuff, and it does have variation in how you set up your console for each different game, which can be annoying because sometimes they want you to put the hand things on there, and then sometimes they want you to not have the hand things on there. Sometimes they only want you to use one controller. Sometimes they want you to use 2 controllers. And then there's one game that wants you to dock both controllers and then rest the entire console in your arms and rock it like a baby to put it to sleep and then set it down without waking it up.
Jesus
It's just hilarious as fuck. It's so funny.
So Nintendo.
So yeah, I'm into it. It's definitely worth the time. I have not fired up Puyo Puyo Tetris on there. I have played the shit out of that game on the PS4. I have a plane ride coming up this weekend and then another plane ride coming up the following weekend. So I know that the following weekend is just going to be me and the wife only, and I plan on definitely playing... chair just dropped. God damn it. I plan on playing Puyo Puyo Tetris on the plane pretty hard on that one.
Nice.
Since the kids are going to be on next weekend's flight, we are probably going to be playing something. Thinking about getting snipper clips because the boy and I will be able to play that. Obviously, we can't play 1-2 switch on the plane.
Have you? Are you thinking about getting? Are you going to get Mario Kart 8 or no?
Maybe.
I
need to play the shit out of it on the Wii U, so I don't really feel like it's necessary.
I need more people I need to like struggle to play with or unable to play with.
And I see you've been playing some more Super Rude Bear Resurrection. Anything new to add to that?
I finally got to kind of like the boss world, and it's ridiculous. And I'm getting to a point where it's not fun anymore because it's just too hard.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about hard,
that's not cool.
Speaking of hard, Joe, myself, and Jay, and Devious Mr. Matt, and Jeremy from Dad's Getting Grounded, we all played Genital Jousting last night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hard to get into just an online match. They have that matchmaking thing all sorts of out of whack, right? Would you agree?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's only a 4-player game, so we had 5, so we had to rotate someone out. But it was just a mess to get us in. But once we are in, boy, that's a lot of fun. Except when you get to sports ball.
Ugh. Sports ball breaks the game.
The frame rate just literally breaks the game.
It gets destroyed, and then you get stuck on just a gray screen for whoever even knows how long. I got stuck on a gray screen, and the game completely froze and broke. Everybody else moved on to the next round. They were 3/4 of the way through the next round, and then my sports ball round finally finished, and I started the next round.
And we could see your guy finishing the race at the end. We were like, "Yes, Joe."
And they're like, "What? Everybody already finished this entire round, and I'm racing this race alone, just putting my dick in a bunch of cactuses."
But let's talk about some of the fun modes in this game they got now. Your ass has to swallow blue pills. You have to
get longer.
You have to push a bunch of schnauzers on your side of the your side of the screen. Dachshunds, yes. The hot dogs, you got to stuff up your butt.
Yeah, and you lady, if 2 people catch both sides of the hot dog, you can lady and tramp the hot dog, and it makes a kiss when your buttholes touch.
Aww.
There's a Splatoon mode.
Yeah, there's a Splatoon mode where you penetrate your enemy's butthole and then you jizz your color all over the level.
This is a classy game.
Oh, it's really classy.
It's so good. The sound effects.
It's fun to play when it works.
The sound effects are the worst.
And there was one where your dick just constantly gets these needles drop, right? And your dick just constantly gets shot up.
Uh-huh.
We only had that happen. That game only appeared once. That was disturbing.
Fortunate.
Yeah, but you get all sorts of costumes, priest outfits, old lady clothes, skeleton shirt, hats.
It's like Jay's closet.
Yeah. All right, Jay, you're up next. Again, let's try to be a little brief here on what you've been playing.
Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's kind of losing my interest at this point in time. I stopped playing, and then I kind of put it down and don't continue on, so... hopefully that will change. I played a little bit of Halo 2 Remastered just to get in and play that. I was bored the other day. I played the Prey demo after Corey had talked about finishing the game. And as usual, I pretty much broke it. I didn't actually break it and make it unplayable, but I just am leveling up incorrectly and not playing the game very well. So... but I am enjoying it, but it does seem like it has a little bit of the controls seem sluggish. So I guess that's the way to put it. It's free. Give it a try. You can make your own decisions. I'm not going to purchase the game at this point in time. So then I played the Dishonored demo. I played that. It's very much like the first game, or I should say Dishonored 2.
So you played this, you mentioned this last week, so you've played more of it since last week?
Yeah, I actually got into it where before I just basically fired it up. So with the Dishonored demo, I got a little further into it and have gone through. And I'm liking the game. It's very much like the first one. The beginning, it takes a little bit to get you interested. So, so that I may pick up Dishonored when it goes on sale. So, Shadow Warrior 2. We've said I had purchased it last week. I've been playing it, and how did I mention it to you, Corey? I said it's kind of like Doom and Far Cry Blood Dragon mixed together.
Yeah, that description, like that short description, totally blew my skirt up. I'm like, oh shit! Now I want to buy it.
Oh yeah, it is so crazy, and the quips and the stuff are fun. It is fun to play. It can be a little confusing, but I think it's just because I've had little time to play. But when I have been playing, oh my god, I'm like, I can't play this with my granddaughter around because he's just swearing and yelling, and you're a pretty kid.
Gory too, right? It's pretty violent.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. You're. I mean, you're chopping stuff into pieces, and you got shotguns, and I've got a pulse rifle. There's all kinds of shit. The weapons are incredible. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a little janky. The graphics are a little almost 360ish or last gen-ish, but the game does make up for it. It's a lot of fun to play. And I mean, geez, I think I paid around $35 for both games, both, which that deal isn't available anymore. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. It's a lot of fun. Getting my wang on, as they say. You're playing as low wang, running around and defeating demons and stuff. And the story is interesting, even though it comes in. It's kind of like Zelda in a way, where you'll play along and like you're really not doing much of the story. You're just completing objective, and then you stop and you'll have some cutscenes, and it gives you the story and whatnot. But really enjoying it. So I would definitely recommend Shadow Warrior 2. So enjoying that. That finally came out on console and playing that now. And then the Genital Jousting we already talked about. So.
All right. Still doing that Horizon Zero Dawn Zelda dance, so nothing new to report there. Been playing a bunch of Dead Cells this week on the PC. They released a beta branch that you can download. If you guys have Steam, you can go into Properties, and then there's a beta tab, and you can select if you want to opt in to the game's beta. So I've done that, and the improvements are awesome, except now there is lots of bugs. Specifically, when you complete a certain section, you can get the out-of-memory error, which brings your game to a complete close. Luckily, though, when you reboot it back up, you pick up where you left off. So it's not too much of a problem right now. I had a really great run the other day. If you don't know Dead Cells, you have to pick up these cells for guys that you kill. So I was holding 29 cells at one point, and I came across, for the first time, a corrupted treasure chest. Now, thinking back with a clear mind, probably shouldn't open that treasure chest when I had 29 dead cells with me. But I threw caution to the wind and said, fuck it. And I opened it up, and I got a curse. And basically, I had the number 10 over my head, and I had to kill the next 10 enemies without taking one single shot. One shot, and I died, and you lose everything. So, threw caution to the wind and started hacking guys up. Got about halfway through, and some guy just nicked me barely, and I lost all my cells and all my gold. Very, 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 very crushing.
What do the cells do? Are those like a form of currency, kind of?
There's this area, I forget what it's called, the Promenade or something or other. You go there and you invest your cells in certain power-ups. So
okay.
I was going after like the double health power-up.
You upgrade currency, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And I was going after the double health, which required 50 cells. So I could have put 29 towards it, and I think I only needed 18 more. So I could have got the double health and something else at the same time.
Seems a little Dark Souls-y.
Oh, yeah.
I hope this comes to console.
So good. I keep playing. I'm like, this needs to be on the fucking Switch. So fucking good. Speaking of Zelda, I've been playing Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas, which is a kind of a Zelda ripoff, not Zelda Breath of the Wild ripoff, but maybe some of the other ones.
Traditional,
so
yeah.
It's a homage to Zelda games of the past. I'm playing this on the PS Vita. It just came out, but I believe it's on everything now. I believe this is on the Xbox One, on PS4. I think it's everywhere. So if this is a game, Jay, you're looking to play with your granddaughter, it's a very cutesy-looking game, minor violence. You're killing like crabs on the beach and things like that. So could be something you might want to check out.
Hey, Zoe, let's play Tormentor X Punisher.
Tormentor X Punisher takes place on what? Planet Fuck You. Yes. So it opens up and this demon guy is like, wow, we had peace for 5 minutes. That's a new record. And this lady comes out of nowhere and cuts the guy's head off. And she's like, fuck you. And the thing about this game is everybody can die in one shot, including yourself. And bosses that appear can also be killed in one shot, but they change the landscape of the game and how the arena flows. So it's a top-down twin-stick shooter. One mechanic that I found very interesting, the way you reload is by using the other gun. So if you're using your machine gun and all of a sudden you're out of bullets, you have to use your shotgun, and that reloads the machine gun.
As you fire the shotgun at enemies, it reloads the other gun?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So what's cool, game was... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what if you're firing both at the same time and they both go empty?
I haven't tried to fire both at the same time. I don't try to break games like you and Jay.
It's probably a bad idea, seeing as how you need one to reload the other.
I try to say they've given me two guns. In my real life, I can only probably shoot one of these at a time. So that's the only way I play it. Next time I boot it up, Corey, I will try that.
Good.
And report back to you. Amateur. If you were at PAX East this year, you would have seen Raw Fury on the floor, and this was the game that was drawing lots of people's attention. They were having like contests and who could get up the leaderboard. So right now I'm hanging tight on the leaderboard at 557 with a score just north of 10,000 points. And the last thing I played is the Victor Vran Overkill on the PS4. So I've been going through that, listening to the Motorhead stuff, and if you like Diablo, it's a poor man's Diablo. Let's get right down to it. But it's very enjoyable, and the Motorhead stuff makes it a little bit more interesting. I believe that's coming out this week, and that segues to the news. Corey, why don't you segue us in?
Yes, got a new news sound also.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
So let's get into the notable releases for the week. We have Dirt 4, The Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. I'm very interested in this, and I believe you do not need to have your character leveled up. If you want to pick up right here and play, you can, and you can also play this in single-player mode. So you don't need to play online with anybody else. So I am thinking about it. I'm not sure yet.
I'm asking if anybody's on it, because that's the big thing, is if they're going to be people to play with, I want to jump in and play.
Out of all the different provinces in that world of Cyrodiil, Morrowind is one of the weird outliers. It is a really cool area. From the original, I remember playing the original Morrowind back on the OG Xbox. So it's really interesting, but I do not play Elder Scrolls Online, so I probably won't be picking it up.
All right.
More like Snorrowind.
Whoa.
Oh, I do want that statue, though. That thing looks pissa guy. For the Vita, Farming Simulator 18. Coming to consoles this week is Perception by the Deep End Games.
It's coming to all consoles, too, even the Switch, right?
I don't think the Switch is at the same time.
Oh, okay.
The Town of Light is finally coming to consoles. And I believe this will also, if you already own this on PC, you will get the update for free. So you will get the revamped visuals and everything that the console people are getting. As I mentioned, Victor Vran is coming to the consoles, and it will also include the Overkill edition. And lastly, Joe, I believe you mentioned Wipeout earlier, right?
Yeah, I did.
the Wipeout Omega Collection coming to the PS4. I believe it has 3 Wipeout games in it, if I'm correct.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. All right. Corey.
Yes.
How many news stories do we have this week?
7? I think it's 7. As you count right now.
Yes, 7. Thank you. All right. First up, a new IP from Iron Galaxy called Extinction. Not sure if you guys have watched the trailer for this at all.
If
Hella
you haven't,
watched it.
Mode, right?
you should watch it if you haven't watched that trailer. That trailer is awesome.
So cool. Dave Lang gang.
Yeah, so basically, what would you say? You're basically this town that all of a sudden is being taken over by a bunch of gigantic monsters, right?
Yeah, if anybody has watched like Attack on Titan or knows what Attack on Titan is, it reminded me of that, but it was like fantasy characters. Like this, like instead of a Titan, it was like this giant, like an ogre?
Orc? Like an orc?
Yeah, like a giant orc that was like several stories tall, and this one guy trying to fight it with just a sword. And then there were all those other smaller fantasy creatures. So, I mean, there was no gameplay in it, so we really don't know what kind of gameplay it really has yet.
Yeah, so what they're saying, the game's going to offer a deep story campaign, protect the human population across an abundant story campaign, rescuing as many civilians as possible and taking down brutal opponents. It's going to have dynamic side missions, skill-based combat, interactive environments, innumerable battle scenarios, and custom battles. And this is coming from Maxim Games and Iron Galaxy. So check that out. I believe that's a 2018 release.
And is Iron Galaxy the developer? Are they like co-developing it, or is one of the studios publishing it? Do you know?
I think Maxim Games is a publisher and Iron Galaxy is developing it, but I could be wrong on that. There could be a developer in there as well, and those two could both be co-publishing.
Because Iron Galaxy has done, they have like quite an eclectic.
Iron Galaxy is usually a port house. That's what they were originally known for. Like a lot of those titles that come to the Vita and stuff, they do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
they also were trying to branch into publishing.
Yeah, Killer Instinct. So this could be them developing it.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, they did. I'm pretty sure Video Ball was one of the ones they published, and that you guys remember that bizarre Kinect game, Racketeer?
Yes.
Yeah. They did that one as well. It's a very eclectic lineup that they have from Iron Galaxy, so I have no idea what to expect.
They even did that recent Batman game. Wah, wah, wah.
All right, moving on. Need for Speed is coming back. So after they were away from last year, the last title came out in 2015, they're coming back with Need for Speed Payback. It's in development by Ghost Games, which have done the last 2 Need for Speed games. It says the campaign in Need for Speed Payback will allow players to drive as 3 different characters: Tyler the Racer, Mac the Showman, and Jess the Wheelman. They team up to get revenge on the House, a cartel that runs criminal underworld of the fictional city of Fortune Valley. EA is promising intense heist missions, high-stakes car battles, epic cop pursuits, and jaw-dropping set pieces.
That's always what I really want in my racing games.
Obviously, from the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, that's what I need in my racing games is heavy narrative. That's what I'm always looking for. That's why I like Mario. That's why I like Mario Kart so much.
They say this will offer a single-player experience which can be played offline, if that's the way you choose to drive.
Alrighty then.
PS Plus games for June.
Isaac Sight.
And Jeremy from Dad's Getting Grounded tweeted out this week that they're clearly listening to us. So we got Killing Floor 2 for the PS4. So that's a game I highly recommend. It would be fun to have some game nights.
That's going to be a lot of fun. We definitely going to have some game nights with that.
Yeah.
Life is Strange on the PS4. Abyss Odyssey on the PS3. WRC 5 World Rally Championship on the PS3. And we got some Vita PS4 cross-buys here. Neon Chrome and Spy Chameleon.
Yay.
And then we got 4 left here. Pyre, out July 25th for Steam and PS4. This is Supergiant Games multiplayer RPG. So you know them from Bastion and Transistor. It's a party-based RPG. I've seen a little bit of this and haven't really been too inspired, but the last 2 years at PAX, this is one of the ones that you can't even get close to. They have such a following, Supergiant Games, with their previous titles that people are hot to trot on this. And the industry people, if you listen to other podcasts, are saying this is going to be a fantastic game, something to check out, and it's coming out July 25th. We'll have to wait and see on that. Moon Hunters coming to Xbox One on July 19th. This is a title that's been already out on the PS4 and already out on the PC, but it's making its way to Xbox One. If you like mythology, check it out. And it also features couch co-op. Joe, you played a little bit of this before, right?
Sorry. Pardon me. I apologize.
That's all right, Joe.
Very rude. That's the Moon Hunters.
Yes.
That's something that I did play. I played it on the PC using Steam. And yeah, I thought it was all right. I think that there was not enough variation to keep me going, but it was all right.
It's one of those like rinse repeat games, right? You play like an hour or so and then you might die and then you try to do it a different way. Right.
That's not really the impression that I got. It's just like you play through with one character, and then you play through with a different character, and you just get kind of a different moveset and a slight variation on the same story, but not enough to make it super interesting.
Okay, gotcha. That's Kid Fox Games out of Montreal. Check it out. Moon Hunters, July 19th on the Xbox One. Last two stories here. The biggest update yet for Gears 4. So this might be a chance for all of us to fire up the Xbox One again. This is called Rise of the Horde. New skills, achievements, inconceivable difficulty, and a free trial of Gears 4.
Alrighty,
I believe it's also going to have some new maps as well. This month, another Gears of War 2 fan favorite returns with the Avalanche, alongside returning Gears 3 map Rustlung. Corey, you're going to organize a Gears night?
I might if there's interest. Aside from the new maps, I don't have much of an interest because there were a couple additional, what do you want to call them, skills, I guess, or cards you can use for the different classes that seemed kind of cool, but they didn't seem that far out there. So aside from the new maps, I am interested in playing some of those new maps. So if anyone is interested, hit me up on Discord and we can get back in a Horde for a little while.
20 new achievements are set to arrive, offering an extra 500 G in gamer score. And the last bit of news here, Ironcast coming to the Switch this summer from Ripstone Games and Dreadbit. Dreadbit we've had on the podcast twice. So this is a steampunk, turn-based match 3 type game. I think I've streamed it before, and I really enjoyed this game, and I think it probably lends itself perfectly to the Switch, so that is an indie title to look for down the road. Other than that, gentlemen, that has been episode 202 of the Gamers in Beta podcast.
Yeah.
Let's get into some shout-outs. Corey, you want to go first?
Yeah, my plug list is a lot smaller now that I'm not working for Bago Games. But I actually am, that's one of the sites I'm still freelancing for. So I do have a recent Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tip guide that just went up on Bago Games. And I'm actually just the tip, not the whole guide. God, I'm not going to shove the whole guide in your face, just the tip. But yeah, so just the tip of Mario Kart 8. And I do have the review of Randall that'll be going up probably this Tuesday. It's probably the day after this goes up. I think that'll be up. But other than that, that's it for me.
All right. Now, Joe, you are going to be gone for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
You will be missed. Working on some fill-ins for you, but again, you will be missed. So any sort of details of where you're going, do you want to reveal that or not, or it's up to you?
Next week's a secret and a surprise, so no.
Okay.
And then the following week, we're co-hosting a convention in Chicago.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so that'll be pretty cool. And I think
when
I
you
get
say
to meet up.
hosting a convention, you mean eBay stuff.
Yeah, eBay stuff.
Okay.
And then I think I get to meet up with our good pal Beardy McWhiskey while we're out there.
Nice.
Don't let him see your gold tooth.
All right, it's gonna fashion a weapon.
Anything else, Joe?
No.
All right, Jay. How about you?
Just shout out to the doctor for doing some pain-free stitches, and for Larson for making a door with glass that shatters instead of breaking into big pieces. So, hence the reason I'm here.
that could have gone wrong. That
could have gone very wrong. Yeah. So there is that.
Instead of detachable penis, it would have been detachable J.
Yeah, detachable head. Who knows what? But anyway, so it's all good. I want to give a shout out to the Mafias. We haven't heard from them lately. They've been quiet. So
they did go to Vegas recently. Maybe something went bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
they probably went on vacation and they're probably back working now to pay for that wedding.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. They seem pretty badass. Maybe they popped some grapes in Vegas and they're still hiding the bodies.
I did see a picture playing golf and smoking a cigar. So.
Yeah. Where you been, Mafia? Where you been, yo?
Where you been, man? So give a shout out to them and shout out to the rest of the crew on Discord too. We like chatting with you guys on there, and then thanks for downloading the podcast. So
cool. Well, I got to give a shout out to the 40cast this week. If you are a connoisseur of rub and tugs, maybe you want to listen to this week's 40cast because we have some insight of where you can go ahead and get the best rub and tug. So I will leave it at that. And other than that, yeah, of course, all the listeners, all the people that interact with us, all the people that leave voice messages and things of that nature. Fred French, what's up, brother? Thanks for doing what you do and keeping the lights on, and we will be back next week with 203.
And Sean, Jay? We miss you.
Oh, yeah, and shout out to Sean, delivering the goods, the garments.
And until next time, same beta time, same beta channel. Talk with us on Discord. Get us on Twitter. Call the voice line at 508-658-BETA. And let us know what you want to hear on the next one. See ya!
Bullshit.
When we were at school, I thought he had it sussed. Fighting the law with the rest of us. Smoking and drinking, acting cool. They started treating him like a fool. Then he stayed on his own for most of the time. Dreaming dreams of a life of crime. In and out of trouble, he cheated and lied. But who'd have thought he joined the other side? He's in the riot squad. The What a Fight Squad. The Shoot on Sight Squad. For law and right. Down to ends and with the boys in blue. It's amazing what a few weeks can do. Out in the car, out on the street. South of the river on the front line beat is in the riot squad. The What a Fight Squad. The Shoot on Sight Squad. For law and right.
Man, we are terrible at giving out that number during that segment.
Good call.
Oh, I'm going to shit my pants. I got to go. Bye.